not. Monty Croft. They're both out. Italy not playing also. That's right. There's no keeper. No. I'll give you first bounce again, mate.
Okay.
Just so you're ready, because I realised when I threw to you last week, we haven't discussed this. Yeah. Beautiful sunny day here in Blacktown, round 5 of the NEAFL this afternoon. It is the 4th place Sydney University against the 3rd place Southport Sharks. Going to be an absolute cracking game this afternoon. I'm Eddie Summerfield, joined by Will Jackson this afternoon, streaming live on NEAFL TV through YouTube and Facebook. All thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Good afternoon to you, Will.
Oh, good afternoon, Eddie. Look, top 4 clash, beautiful afternoon. Both teams coming off playing at Canberra. One of them got away with a sub-6 point win, other coming away with a sub-6 point loss. So it's going to be an absolute cracker out here this afternoon to see how they go head-to-head this afternoon.
Now, there's a couple of late changes for both sides. We'll start with the home team, the Sydney Uni students. Big one out there, Sam Tagliabue, the ruckman. He is out, as is Monty Crocknell. Tom Redden coming into the side for the students. For Southport, forward Mitch Johnson, he is out, late withdrawal. Coming in for him is Matt Doran. Southport, they haven't won here at Blacktown in their history. They're chasing their 8th consecutive win, dating back to round 19 of last season. Sydney Uni, well, they're rebuilding this season, lost a lot of experience, and they look like they haven't missed a stride as players start to move to their positions.
Look, I think all in all, the weather's certainly going to benefit the Southport Sharks. They love a bit of sunshine over where they're coming from. But, look, most of all, I think we're going to see a very clean game and a lot of fast moving from the outside. So, really excited about this one, Eddie. And I think all the viewers should be too.
Most definitely. So, players are moving it to their positions at the moment. Looking forward to seeing Tristan Davies going around for the Sydney Uni students. He's the competition leading goal kicker at the moment. He's got 15. Another one really looking forward to having a look at this afternoon, Jacko, is Matt Shaw from Southport. He leads the competition's MVP by 10 votes, and he's only played the 3 games out of a possible 4 because they've had the bye. So players moving into position. It will be Sydney Uni kicking to the left-hand side of your NEAFL TV. Southport to the right. Picture perfect day, as Will Jackson mentioned before. There is not a cloud in the sky, and there's a little bit of breeze and bit of push and shove and feeling going on out there at the moment on the wing in front of us as well. That'd be Michael Manteed of Southport, former Sydney Uni player, going toe-to-toe with Louis Stevenson. Umpire waiting for players to get into position. It is round 5 of the NEAFL. Sydney University up against the Southport Sharks. Top 4 clash. Here is Will Jackson to get play underway.
So in the absence of Taliabu, you've got Austin Lucy coming into the fray to do ruck battle with the very, very large turner. It's been tapped down outside. Surprise wasn't called back, but that's not going to matter. Stevenson puts a right foot across the body into the path of leading Davies. Down ground ball now. Can he get it out cleanly? Few players swarm him, and that will be a ball up. Interesting start, very fast. He said, clean hands.
We were wondering who'd go into the ruck. Austin Lucy taking that first bounce, and he's taken that one up forward. Lewis Stevenson again, couldn't quite get a kick to it. Ball spilled free, came out wide, picked up there by Kilpatrick. He went without it. Southport under a bit of pressure, came back to Louis Stevenson, inside 50. Davies the target on the lead, couldn't mark, punched away from him. Southport with numbers at the fall of it. It was Tom Miller that flicked the handball back, and the Sharks cleared offensive 50 and will get a throw in.
Very, very hot start for Sydney. Bit of intent. Shame Davies, usually Velcro hands he brings to the game. Lost a couple there early, but sure he'll bounce back with the class he brings to the table.
Just seen Bailey Stewart leave the ground for Sydney Uni, just nursing a bit of a right ankle. We'll keep our eyes on that one to see. Hopefully he can get back out there, and it's just a minor hit or corky.
Bit of a loss, the rising star. Ball comes up. Lucy wins it as the midfield brigade come charging over. Put it on was Gulden to the top of the fly. Davies under it. Not going to win out as it goes to the ground. Around the side. Cleared away by South Park. Giving chase is Hiscox. So Hiscox has a chance here to recover. It's been taken out of bounds as long-haired Dale gives him something to think about.
Real quick runner and mover, Jack Hiscox. The Glebe Greyhound he goes by. We wait for the ball to be tossed in. Sydney Uni to the left of your screen. If you've just joined us on NEAFL TV, top 4 clash as the ball came back to Vale. He went without it. Sharks defence really good there. Lee Dale holding a tackle, and it will be thrown up once again.
You are right about Hiscox, though. Hiscox and Goulden were running machines last week. The Souths come away with the ball. Spills, turned over for Sydney Uni. All fighting for it on the ground. Can't be won. Umpire will come in and intervene. So we had an early stage of some clean ball out to the wings. Now we have a little bit of congestion as up it goes again. Going to be an interesting ruck battles. It snapped forward into the 50. Oh, it's not going to be taken. Is he held up? No. Well done from Southport as it kicks towards Dale. Dale's got options over far, but he goes straight down the middle just by the square. Hand pass there to be given. Just turned, looking for his option. The longer kick into the path of Shea. Shea won't get there. Big bump right at the top of the square. That's going to hurt. That's going to cause some argy-bargy as well.
Sam Barclay, the man hit for the students there on his knees at the moment as Tim Barton, the former captain of the students, comes in to remonstrate.
Well done for the man getting up, though. That was big.
Head over the footy and rewarded, rightfully so, for the students. So Barclay flicked the handball across. Underground awkward sort of kick will work. Bit of a worm burner as it came out wide to Stevenson. Goes through midfield. Just looking to slow things down a bit. They can keep going. They had Sirakowski on the wing, but Bartholomaeus has got it. Goes short. This time to Sirakowski. Can run to 50. Lines him up on the left boot. Just a chip kick. Davies the target. Davies can't mark. Ball out the back. Fong lurking. And the ball finds the boundary line where it will be tossed in. Neither team to score. 3.5 played in this first quarter. Sydney Uni, Southport Sharks.
They had numbers coming down the wing there. And Tom Wren put a nice left foot kick. Shame it couldn't be taken, but pretty good result across the face here.
Reece Clark looks to be the man running with Tristan Davies. Early days for the Sharks.
Ball goes up and one down by Southport, but collected in the midfield by the Uni. It's put onto the boot, but it's gone just past the left. The check side rush kick couldn't quite find its target, but it is the first score of the day with a behind.
So Ryan Davis to kick in. Short one, Michael Manteet, premiership player for Southport after transferring from Sydney Uni. As they just work it out towards the scoreboard there. Sharks just holding up a bit of possession, which they haven't really had a chance to do in the first 4 minutes or so of this match. Long one now to a contest. Big fly from behind, but standing his ground at the front. And the students will have another chance to go inside 50. Has a look forward. Harry Morrison wants Davies long. Goes just into a bit of a plug. Punched down there by Fong. Ball at ground level. Snapped around the body. It was touched. It will go high. Came to ground level again. Southport with numbers. Just pushing a kick out of the pack towards the boundary line. Trying to clear defensive 50. And a tackle will see it over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Really liking this early physicality though, Ed. You saw the big bump, of course, we don't want anyone to get hurt, and then pretty aggressive tackle over here. Both teams here to play. Perhaps a little bit of feeling with Manteet trotting around there, having played for both sides. Ball comes in and the ruck commences. One down by Turner, who can pick it up off the ground. It's a little bit messy, but that's done nicely. Snapped towards the goal on Sydney's side. That should be a freebie. Was it a freebie? Absolutely. First blood drawn by Sydney University students. It's Harry Morrison with the goal.
Really good stuff there from Morrison. The students repeat entries, repeat efforts, pushing the footy forward, fell into his hands, had a shot from 20 out and put it through, and perfect start there for Sydney Uni, rewarded for repeat efforts.
The turn from congestion out to wide running and then the nice clean set. You wouldn't ask for a better first shot at goal, would you?
Good to see here Bailey Stewart coming back onto the ground for Sydney Uni. Copped a bit of a hit to one of his ankles, but the trainers look like they've got their lunch for Sydney Uni and they've been able to get a bit of wrapping on his ankle and he's good to go.
You see how much that meant to them as well. As soon as that went through, the players all got around him. He was happy. This game's got some feeling, which we like to see as the umpire brings it back to the middle. Another clean bounce.
Austin Lucy again doing the ruck work for Sydney Uni, going up against Jed Turner. Good tackling pressure. As the footy came out, first centre clearance of the day for the Sharks. Came to Dale. Looked to play on, didn't. He's got Shea leading in the pocket, ignores him, goes that direction now. Shea underneath it, went over his head, punched towards the boundary line. Good use of the body by Goulden. Footy came back inboard. Sharks pressuring, trying to get a clean possession out of this one, but the students' defence holds up and we'll have a toss-up. 15 out from the Sharks' goal.
So this would be the Sharks' first real attacking threat here. Came off a bit of a wobbly kick. They're typically clinical in front of goal. One down nicely, but it's taken pretty quickly. Kicked out of danger over the front. Will that be a mark? Umpire says no. Tries to get the hand pass out. Wrestling around. He's got a man on his back like a cowboy on the horse, and that's holding the football. And that's going to be turned over into the hands of Jordan Taylor. So he gives a faster hand pass off as they look to go laterally to slow things down. Find another option. Here's Tom Miller. Puts a grubber in straight into the opposition's hands. He's got a couple options as he goes straight down the middle. Giving chase is Davies. He's got Fong, his captain, as well. Looks a little tired out there, Davies. And in come to the rescue, Matt Shaw.
So Southport trying to work it out of defence. Kick comes to Brodie Murdoch. So Murdoch just slowing things down. He's played every game this year so far for the Sharks as they just chip it up the wing. Bit risky here. Shaw flicked it off by hand. That was good. Miller long to half forward. Underneath it, good use of the body there by Barton for the students as the footy ricochets out towards the boundary line and it's seen over by Robertson for Sydney Uni.
Frantic start though, very exciting. Both teams running it coast to coast. Hopefully if this continues, well, can they keep it up all game? Let's wait and find out.
We're both a bit worried coming to the ground today here at Blacktown. There's a bit of rain around yesterday, but perfect conditions for footy as we mentioned earlier.
So the ball's come out and Sydney Uni will get the clearance away and that's gone in the hands of, well, it's on the far side, but I believe that's Morrison, the goal scorer before, and he goes laterally behind himself in the hands of Veal. So trying to find an option here down the side, goes long towards the top of the 50, or try to be picked off, and it was. Southport on the ball now in the hands of Williams, who puts a far kick in, picked off by Sydney University.
So Lucy doesn't waste any time, short handball. kick might have been wasted. Fong outstanding. Sidestep inside 50. Target Davies. He'll get it on the bounce. Ricochets off his ankle. Then he went back in and picked it up. Tackled by McKay. Ball spilled out free. Pressure mounting. But the Sharks' defence outstanding. String of short kicks came out wide. And the marks taken by Mackenzie Willis.
The wheel from the captain there was beautiful. But let's see what Southport can generate. They're typically very good ball in hand. Is Matt Shaw probably their best user, using his AFL experience, trying to get some go forward for the Sharks here. Goes long down the far side. Can't be taken cleanly, but Southport look to have the numbers. I keep saying South Park. Apologies, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Picked up and intercepted. It goes to ground. Sydney Uni and Southport fighting hard for the ball on the ground, but it will be a ball up. Can't come out of there.
Really good pressure early on for Sydney Uni, kicking the only goal of this match, and Southport still haven't troubled the scorers yet today. Southport, interestingly enough, they've won 3 games coming in today, but they have scored 40 less points for the season compared to Sydney Uni, as the Sharks now push forward. Ball came up and down, bounced off hands. Sydney Uni defence working overtime. They've done well as the handball came out the back, eventually with Goulden. Wheels it in now, snapped it on his right boot to a contest. Big pack of players, Southport with numbers, punched out the back, and it will be tossed in.
There's a lot of players in the middle of the field right now, only one from each side in each of the 50s. So that midfield battle is going to prove the difference as it stands now. As we wait for the ball to come back in, Turner, you'd think, would be coming away with this, but Lucy's holding his ground incredibly well. Up it goes, slapped down toward the boundary, gathered by Southport. Quick hands, very nice. Left foot kick, high up to a contest. That won't be one, but spilled out, running into traffic. Goulden now swings it onto his left boot into the middle. Can't be hit. Matt Shaw was risky. Turns it off. Turner sends a long ball towards the top. Underneath that, Hall can't be taken. Shame, but they have another chance here. Who's on the ball? Oh, taken nearly high, but not thought so. Can they turn around? A shot at goal here. Onto the right by Snap. It's going to land at the top of the goal square. Oh, Dale underneath it. The dreadlocked man shoving his opponent aside, and he'll have a pretty straightforward set shot for the South's real first attacking score of the day.
Interesting one. The players just wrestling underneath where they thought the footy was going to fall, but Dale just read it better as it got held up a bit and took a very good chest mark.
The only one who bought his reading glasses, Dale puts, and he also bought his kicking boots. Glasses and boots on today. First goal for Southport by way of Mr. Lee Dale.
First goal for the season too, and a much needed goal for Southport. You'd say the students to date, they've probably dominated possession a little bit more, but Southport just kept working, and got it long forward, and good mark taken by Dale.
They're certainly going longer at the moment, the Sharks. Sydney trying to run and weave their way through, while Sharks are going to back themselves in the contested marks and see if they can just continue pushing it forward. So interesting to see how the strategies work out, whether there's any adjustments as we go forward throughout the day.
Matt Shaw already had plenty of it for Southport, 4 possessions. Veal also had plenty of it. Now, there's a warning here against Sydney Uni for the 6-6-6. They don't have they were looking to play an extra man in defence, oddly enough, so Lockie Hares just goes quickly into defence. Throw it up now in the middle. Big tap one down by Turner for Southport. Couldn't find a teammate. Fong there, taken high. No, holding the footy. So another chance here for the Sharks to string back-to-back goals. Looking forward, looking for a target. Hall's calling for it long. It'll have to be a booming kick to get there. Hall sets himself, sun in his eyes, marks strongly. Beautiful kick up and mark and lead. And Southport, as I said, a chance to go back-to-back through Josh Hall.
He's a lovely mark of the football, Josh Hall. Uses that long, lean frame to just get up above the opposition and tend to stick to his hands too.
He'll need to step up today. If you have just joined us, Mitch Johnson late out for Southport. So begins his approach now, Hall. He's kicked 3 goals in his 3 games this season. Comes in, right foot, drop punt on the way, misses to the right. Just didn't strike it cleanly there, Hall.
So there'll be the first kick out for Sydney University, and taking the kick out, well, he's not facing me right now. Is it Burton? No, he's not. We'll find out very shortly as they look to find the most open man. Goes pretty hard out to the left, and under it is Davies. Can he get there? Spoils right in front. Can they pick it away? Instead, it's kicked towards the boundary and picked off by the Sharks as they turn it around by way of Davis, who puts a long right foot kick inside 50. That won't be marked. And, hey, there's Button. He's popped up, and turning around is Stevenson, but that looks like will it go on the fall? They're going to say it's still in. Robertson on the ball here. Haven't gotten away with that with the chest mark. So Robertson, let's see what he can create. Smothered. Doesn't create a whole lot, but a really good effort from Southport to get the smother in there.
Just those 1%ers, locks it inside 50.
Matt Doran, the incomer, made the spoil, if I'm not mistaken there, Ed.
Late inclusion, originally from Hobart, playing for Hobart City down there.
They'll be enjoying the warmth up here.
Maybe too hot, arguably, as it's tossed in again. Haul over the top for Southport, but it was one down to Bartholomeus. Could be holding the footy, but no, umpire blindsided, and it will be tossed up. Southport to the right-hand side of your screen. Now, you see some weird ruckman going up for the students today. And Sam Tagliabue, the late out for Sydney Uni. This time it was Redden winning it down. He's the inclusion. And it will be tossed up once again. Southport in attack. Pretty much every player in the forward half for the Sharks.
A single man back. They'll have to swing on a turn. Hall gets a chance with a left foot snap. Won't be marked. Can't be picked up. Ruse swung out the tackle without the ball, some might say. And some, including the umpire, do agree Tyler Ruse will have a chance to kick his side second for the afternoon.
He's had plenty of it today. Three touches, one handball, and two handballs and a kick.
Not a bad start.
Been busy.
Well, maybe you can add a goal to his stat sheet, Ed, and let's see what he's like. It's a tougher angle. I'd say he'll go for the drop punt here, but I'm certainly no expert as he starts his walk in. Nice, simple, straightforward, straight kick, but it's unfortunately dragged across the face. It'll just be the minor here to level the scores. No, they're not. It's 8-7. Apologies for the delay on the scoreboard.
So Sydney Uni been under pressure the last 5-6 minutes. Momentum certainly with Southport as the kick comes long. The target on this wing is Morrison. Went over his head. Fong contested well. Morrison went in to pick it up, and the handball comes towards the boundary line. So that's Tom Redden looking for Morrison. Now Southport use this opportunity near the interchange bench to swing a couple of changes as Willis comes on.
They've been stuck inside the Southport attacking end. Sydney Uni will hope to use their on-baller brigade to get some movement happening. That's not going to be how you do it, as it's run down cleanly by Southport. Looking to pick it up is Redden. Swung around, Stevenson under it too, but back into the hands of Redden as he gets a hug from both sides from the two Southport men and bring him out of bounds. So really hard to get the ball out right now. You see the excitement. A lot of people wanting to make sure it doesn't get too far. Up high, it goes up into the ruck battle again. Under it, tapped down and one. Nicely put away by Manteed into the top of the 50. Not going to be taken cleanly. Spills out. Taken, here we go. Bit of clean ball. Stevenson wheels and puts it onto his right foot. Will it land into the lap? No, it's gone over the head, but chance to run down the sideline. Can be taken. No, Morrison decides to leave it, and they'll play for the ruck.
Ed Cole doing a bit of good work. They just couldn't quite reel the ball in during that marking contest, but was giving away a couple of centimetres and kilos to his opponent, Brodie Murdoch. Tossed in centre wing. Students really need to regale some of this momentum early as it's tapped out the back. Picking it up is Willis. Got a kick, won't go the 15. They'll have to go quickly. Handball came out to Turner, flicked it backwards. Willis again just chipping forward, going in hard and tough. Barclay, another hard hit on hands and knees as the footy spills free. Tackling pressure outstanding from the students. And Barclay copped an early hit in this first quarter, and he's copped a second, been right in line of the battering ram of the Sharks.
He just can't get away from it, can he? Ball comes over and played out by Redden. Here we go. You're in lots and lots of space. Is Goulden puts a long kick inside 50. Davies wasn't exactly in the position to take it and kicked away there by Davis. Oh, geez, they've done well to get away with this one cleanly. Leading on is Jordan Taylor. Will he be used? Yes, he will. Short dagger kick. They look to slow things down. Geez, you got a feel for the bloke who just got hit. That was pretty painful. Back into the hands of Ryan Davis. He's got a couple of options. They could really create something here. That's right. Here we go, says Summerfield. Manteet leading on from Shea. Geez, they're not stopping for anything, are they, Eddie? Put down forward towards the boundary. Can that be marked? No, it's not. Back on his feet, try and make the tackle. Ripped him aside. Kilpatrick comes away with the ball. Back to Kilpatrick. Puts a little left foot stabber onto the boot. And here they charge again by left foot. Inside runner coming. He's been held down slow. Has Davies having to make his way very far up. Off the ball, what's been happening here?
Off the ball, free kick. Lots of push and shove going on. Footy will go the way of Davis still. They're just telling him to call their jets, the umpires. So Davies still in possession. Has a look forward now. He'd like himself to kick to in an ideal word. Goes to a contest. Sharks players do well, but they all lost their feet. Chance here for the Students. Handball out the back. Snap around the body from Ed Cole. Bouncing footy's a goal. How good's that for the Students? Ed Cole, the beneficiary there. And there's a free kick, I think, so we can rewind the tape and cancel what just happened. And it was touched off the boot. We liked it up here, but just the effects mic didn't quite pick it up. So scores all level again at the best.
Oh, so very good calling from you, Summers. Boston just puts it nicely into the lap of Ruse. And Rue goes out by way of Manteet. Inside ball, and they're starting to get a bit of cohesion together, our Southport Sharks. Nice mark. Could he have played on? No, says umpire. Mutu looking for options. There's a sea of Sydney jerseys. Oh, into the path of Hall at the top of the 50 on the boundary. Does manage to come away with it. Stands tall. Gives it off. Running in hard. O'Shea over the top from O'Shea. By the way, to Shea. But he's put it through for a behind. What a shame, because the rhymes were coming, Ed. But the goal was not.
O'Shea to Shea and then a Shea. How good's that? So the Students let off the hook there. Short kick comes to...
Like when Pitbull rhymed Kodak with Kodak, that was.
Barton with it. Experienced campaigner. Has a look forward now. Told to go. Put it on the left boot out wide. 2-on-1 situation. It will work out okay as it came to Morrison. Short up the wing. Poor kick turnover. Chance for the Sharks again. So they'll just look forward. Chip it around a bit. Comes to Mutu. He's got a couple of players on. Willis calling for it short, ignores that. So Mutu now goes to Willis. Willis, short to Shaw. Shaw inside 50. Haul the target, caught behind, used the body well, but using it better was Robertson. And Sydney Uni will look to rebound out a defensive 50. Short kick coming the way of Stewart. Punched away from him. Chance here for the Sharks. Doran picked it up. Went across to Dale. Dale just a helicopter kick. Bouncing footy. Goal! Snuck in by a fingernail from the padding. And Southport have their second through Lee Dale's second.
And was that his goal before was his first for the season? Is that right? And now he's got two? Wow. What a way to do it. He could have handed it off. Instead, he backed himself in. Oh, geez, he'll be happy with that one. And the quarter's starting to heat up here. It seems to have lifted a gear from when we first started, which is good to see. Hopefully the viewers are enjoying this one too.
Ever since that Barclay bump on the wing in front of us, he was taken straight off. Haven't seen him re-emerge yet. Hopefully okay, as we mentioned when it happened. Second real big hit, and the Students players have come to the fight since.
Bring him the oranges. They both looked really painful, those two, but he got to his feet. Tough nut. So up we go. On the fly, Lucy doing combat there. Ooh, slapped backwards by Boston into the hands of Uni. One back by Boston and played to Matt Shaw. Matt Shaw's placed it nicely forward into Ford. Wide ball. Shaw on the wing. Gives it off to Mutu. So Mutu having a look up, and he's slowed down. He's got a very nice, simple short option, but decides to go long with this. With his right boot. Top of the 50 on the side. Not taken cleanly. Popped down again. Who can come away with it? Well, Sydney Uni have come away with it. It's snapped, rushed forward, but back to Mutu, almost Groundhog Day. It'll be a replay in the hands of Boston, not taken. Mutu, clean pick up and a big tackle down.
Push in the back there, free kick to Boston.
Well viewed, the man with the knee-high black socks, always easy to spot. To get his number, just look at the socks. Here comes Boston. Sussing out his options here. A little hard to see what's going on. Down the wing, is it Hall? No, it's not Hall. It looks like Ruse, if my facial recognition's on. And it is. Sign me up to iPhone, because it's on, and Ruse will take another shot. Similar angle to his last one, but a little bit further out. So see how smart he is as a goal kicker and whether he can adjust to put this one through.
Bit of a Matthew Lloyd flicking the grass up. You'll find there's not much wind out there. Probably right goal post will move it left.
So as he starts his slow walk in, nice casual approach. It is bending, but it's not going to bend enough, unfortunately. It's gone through the right-hand side of the goalpost, through for a behind. Tough couple of kicks for that man.
So Adam Goulden with the kicking in duties. It's an 8-point lead here to the Sharks. Sydney Uni had all of the play early doors, but Southport have managed to steady the ship since. Short kick, Veal. He's the leading possession winner for the Students, but he's turned it straight over. Chance forward here for the Sharks. Boston marks strongly. 40 out, pretty much directly in front. He should go back and have no problem at all from this distance and this kind of angle.
Don't know how his socks stay up, mate. He must have the world's biggest calves.
Do you reckon he's got garters on, those elastic things that you'd wear if you were participating in the Edinburgh Military Festival to keep your socks up? As Andrew Boston begins his approach. 40 out to extend the lead to 14 points. Right foot drop punt on the way. Does it have the carry? It does, but the accuracy misses to the left.
We had to wear the garters at school, Eddie, but I assure you everyone was walking around with their socks down. Whether that was an act of defiance or just the fact they weren't very practical.
Don't miss leg day, Jacko, and you don't have a problem with the socks.
So away goes Sydney, down over the far side of the boundary. A couple of clean pieces of ball. That one not in that passage, but it is regathered. Couple of options here as a wayward-looking kick does find its way directly into the chest, over the top of the 50, shot at goal here. It's looking all right. Umpire having to work its away to the right. It was Darcy Cordell.
Good fun.
It was not going to affect the goal scoring sheet today as they played back in the middle by Boston.
Good fast use of the footy there by the Students. Davies was free-ish in the goal square, but missed the opportunity as the Sharks will just work the footy short. Couple of quick possessions. Boston doing it at both ends. Finds Willis. Out wide, good. Miller. So the Sharks just having a look, slowing things down. And why not? 8-point leaders at the moment. As the kick in, Barton marks strongly as you'd expect. Chance here for the Students. They'd want another one. 26 minutes gone, first quarter, round 5 of the NEAFL. Big top 4 clash between these two sides as Kilpatrick has it. Goes across a centre half back. Bartholomeus turned over. Hall outstanding. Gathers the footy now. He'll handball to Dale. Dale should run in and kick his third for the opening term and does. Outstanding pressure there from Josh Hall across half forward. Affected the smother on Bartholomeus. And the Sharks are suddenly out to a 14-point lead.
They'll be feeling the herd on that one, Sydney. They really look like they had a strong chance to score down the other end. But, geez, like you said earlier, those 1%ers are making the difference as he marches in for his third of the game and third of the season, funnily enough. Excellent play, and Southport seeming to find their rhythm at the moment.
We saw a big mark out from Barton on the wing here for the Students. Could have gone forward, elected to play possession across half-back. Not his fault at all, but just that pressure that the Sharks can put on a team, the reigning premier.
Good to see Samuel Barkley standing on the sideline, winning the comeback on. Turner wins the ball down by way of Fife, puts a little tumbler into the middle there. That won't be one. Dale picks it up, looks to give it off over the top. It has been given off into Fields, the long locks, as it's intercepted and brought down by Southport's defence. Geez, that was looking dangerous as well. They've got a sniff for the goals now, and you can tell they're just hunting for more.
So tossed up directly in front of the Sharks goal mouth. Tap over the top, good. Crumming, outstanding goal. Jack O'Shea. Really good stuff from Southport from the stoppage. O'Shea crumming. I've caught the South Park disease. And the Sharks, they kick their 4th for the quarter. And suddenly Tom Morrison will be looking for the magnets, trying to wheel something around for the Students in the shadows of quarter time.
That was fast thinking from O'Shea, wasn't it? It came out of nowhere and just didn't have much time to slap it onto the boot either, but made the most of it right through the middle. As they look to regather, I mean, Sydney Uni are going to need a big response here. They've just let a few through, not cheaply, but geez, they need to reset and make sure they get a go forward, and hopefully they'll start from this centre bounce.
So 29 minutes gone, or the best part of 29 gone in this opening quarter. Lucy was going to win that one out of the ruck, but umpire said, we'll do it again. Matt Bagent, Chris Brackening and Dean Garraway, our central officiators today. Perfect day for footy at Blacktown International Sportspark. Tossed up again, Lucy won that one down. Hopefully give that one to him on the stat sheet, but the Sharks with numbers spilled out to Shaw. Shaw on the right boot inside 50. Good looking kick. Hall the target again. Couldn't mark on this occasion. Ball at ground level. Goulden lost it. Going in hard. Barclay later bump. Didn't go the footy. Snap around the body this time from Shea. Right to the hot spot. Bouncing ball over the head of Manteet. Students with numbers, but under pressure across half back. And it kicks off hands. Bouncing ball. Spilled out of Williams' mitts. And it goes out of play. And it will be tossed in 40 around from the Sharks' goalmouth.
Cordell doing all sorts of ducking and diving before putting that kick away. Always good to see he had two Sharks circling him. Ball comes in. It's naturally thrown up very high, up, down. One down by Lucy, but into the hands of Boston, who's still trying to pick it up. Does. Can't get a kick away. Umpire, hands in the air, sees no problem with it. Cleared away by Uni. Whoa, could have been dangerous. Turner turns around, slams it onto the left boot. Long kick. Should be uncontested, but they spoil each other, Sydney Uni, as they get a free snap across the body. And that is a goal. It's Josh Hall again. Just landed in his lap for a free snap, and they're going to be hurting the students after that one.
Just a bit of push and shove and niggle still going on there, but real poor defence from Sydney Uni. Two players going up for what should have been a simple, uncontested mark in defensive 50. And the beneficiary there, Josh Hall, just waltzed into it and kicks the simplest of goals.
It's getting hotter in this kitchen. You can see it's just making them start to second-guess themselves there. Really, that should have just been a clean take. But instead it was, instead it went over the goal umpire's hat, sadly. Let's watch to see how this pans out, or else it could get ugly. Ball comes up. Turner and Lucy again. South get a free march through the middle here. Giving good chases Lucy. Strong effort, but tapped down around the far side. Far kick put in by Manteet. Getting in, thrown away and dusted his opponent away. Pushing the back. Anyone? No.
It's going to be holding the footy, maybe. Yeah, it is. So, prior opportunity deemed by the umpire, and Southport will have a chance to kick their sixth goal in this opening quarter.
We know Southport can get on the roll. I mean, last game, 2 rounds ago against Canberra, went to the third. I think it was 7 goals straight they kicked. So, you give them a bit of a sniff, give them an inch, they're going to take that full mile.
And this is Tom Fields with it at the moment. Geez, Sydney Uni just dominated the first 5 minutes, but it's been all Sharks running since then. Fields begins his approach. Comes in, left foot, kick on the way, and it misses. So off the hook there, the students. Real gettable opportunity goes astray. Can't be long left in this opening quarter. Students will be desperate to get out of defensive 50. Kicking in duties, Louis Stevenson. He's a booming kick. Gets it to half-back. Big pack. Mutu flew. Came to ground. Students a chance if they can just get it possession here. They've got a couple of players out the back. Free kick going to the Sharks for a hold.
Just can't quite seem to get it together right now, the students. As was knocked nicely by Mutu into the long arms of Turner. Puts a far one to Shaw. Shaw's just going to kick it backwards and slow things down for the end of the quarter. Big quarter for Southport Sharks, Eddie.
35-point lead for Southport. Sydney Uni kicked the first of the game through Harry Morrison, but it's all been Shark sailing since then. Leadale's kicked 3 to open up a 25-point lead, rather. We're going to take a short break on NEAFL TV's coverage of this round 5 clash between Sydney Uni and Southport. It is the Sharks leading by 24 points. come back. What do you reckon? Welcome back to Blacktown International Sportspark. It is at the Southport Sharks, 27-point leaders over Sydney Uni. 5-6 plays 1-3. I'm Eddie Summerfield, joined in commentary today by Will Jackson. Will, what can Sydney Uni do? Bit different this quarter to try and just gain some of that momentum back.
Jeez, I just think wrestling back some of that contested possession through the middle there. They're just getting beaten, and off the fast break, Southport are just making them pay.
Austin Lucy continuing rucking duties for Sydney Uni. He's had 6 hit-outs. He's doing pretty well for the students, giving away about 6 centimetres and 15 kilos. It'll be the Sharks getting it out of this first clearance of the quarter. Inside 50. Goulden underneath it. Read it okay. Couldn't quite find the handle on the footy. Pressure from Shea was good for the Sharks. Snap around the body came from Fields. Top of the goal square. Bouncing ball. Pushed off it. Good defence from Sydney Uni. Great tackle. Holding the footy. And snap advantage goal. No. So free kick will come back to Josh Hall. Outstanding tackle there.
Not the start they were wanting.
No.
Pushed him off with the body so nicely, but I think he thought he'd pushed him a bit harder than he did, and he was straight back up, and geez, they're going to make him pay for that.
So that one thing going for the students here, it will be a tough angle for Josh Hall. 198 centimetres. He's a big chunk of man. Tightest of angles to give the dream start to the Sharks for this second quarter to take it out to 33-point ball game. Runs around, snap around the body. Geez, I could just about mark that in the commentary positions. High, punched away. Sharks forwards under pressure to get a clean possession, but it'll be the students. Clearing kick came to Turner. Turner back via hand. Eventually comes to Murdoch. Rushed it onto his boot to the hot spot. Wants a mark. Hall underneath it. Punched away from him. Rushed through one behind.
It's a good bit of recovery there from the students. Luckily did not get off the foot. Obviously wasn't Hall's natural foot, that one, as it fell awkwardly onto his left. Admire the attempt. Let's see what they can create here, the students. Needing a response as they go straight through the middle. Oh, could have been dangerous. Still could be. As it's turned around, can't be picked up cleanly. Southport grab it. Slammed on the boot with Stevenson into the path of Turner. Bobbles. The main ruckman and the replacement ruckman gives it off to Boston, leading to the disposals. I think he had 10 for the first quarter. Up into the path of Matt Shaw.
He had 10 also in that first quarter.
Both getting involved. Giving chase is Stern, but it's chipped left foot. Lovely ball. About 40 metres out, almost directly in front. Jamison Shea sadly missed that one before running down the side, but let's see how we can go with a set shot.
Real handy forward, joined Southport this year after playing in Footscray in the VFL in Victoria. Had a pretty good start to the season as well for the Sharks. Played all 3 games, booting 5 goals as well, the 21-year-old. 21 this year, in fact.
So he starts his march in towards the goal. Can he draw first blood for this quarter? Shea's kick is on the way, but it looks like it's going... That's gone through the middle. Took him a while to celebrate. He wasn't sure about it. We weren't sure about it up here. But that is a goal. And a great start to the quarter by the Southport Sharks.
34 points. They've just continued on where they left off in that first quarter, Southport and Sydney Uni for that matter also. Thought we may have seen a couple of changes for Sydney Uni just to try and regain a bit of, or to stop the flow first off the Sharks before regaining some momentum. But the Sharks, that first entry inside 50, and it's been in that half of the ground the entire time since quarter time.
We were talking off the mic earlier about the difference the 6-6-6 rule makes in trying to stem the flow of goals when the momentum run gets on the way, like we're seeing here as it's one into the path of Dale. Dale will have another go at it, but can't quite take it cleanly. Dale's still wrestling on the ground there. You can see his hair bobbing out. That'll be a free kick by way of the students. Yes, it will. So, what can they create here? They're down, but they're certainly not out. He'll turn, second guess himself. Gilden puts a daggering kick forward over the hands of a teammate as it's snapped forward into the path of Redden. Redden giving chase but leaves, elects to shepherd instead. Davies gives it back to Redden. Bit of a shrug and see you later. Handball over the top of the 50, smothered. Another 1%. Called it 2% because 2 guys went for it from Southport as they quickly turn around and start running the other way.
So out of defence, good was Ruse. Booming kick to half forward for the Sharks. Students with numbers did well, and it'll be tossed in half back. Good positive energy there for the Students going forward. But Southport's defence through Tyler Ruse, as you mentioned there, Jacko, outstanding across half back. So wait for the footy to be tossed in again. Lucy starts from behind, but winning it down easy was Turner. Footy came to his feet, and the Students somehow get the clearance from that one. It should come back with a little bit of interest. Shea used his body well, earned a free kick. Apologies there, that's Tom Miller.
The front-on contact there from the captain, Sam Fong.
So Miller looks forward now. Good kick. 2-on-2 situation. The two of the Students worked well. Handball backwards was good. High up and under kick. Redden the target, but couldn't quite get there, and the Sharks' defence stands up again.
So the Sharks with another chance on the far side of the grandstand, about halfway up the field. Goes a lateral handball inside. Little shaky left foot kick there, goes low. It has been marked. Good effort. Has a man inside. Yes, he does. Gives it Taylor. Taylor looks up, has a look. Decides to miss Shaw. Shaw will continue his charge forward, but it's in the hands of Williams. Puts it into the path. Sport by Barkley. Well done, the tough nut. He's been hit twice, but he's up again. Matt Shaw. Wheels puts it onto his right foot. Will it be picked off? It was nearly perfect for Mutu, but no. Alas, it's come away with Mr. Hiscox as he turns and decides to go laterally.
Just the one touch in that first quarter for Hiscox, but here come the Sharks again. Williams pushed off it a bit easy. Handball over the top. Stern there. Got to kick up the wing. Good use of the body. Redden! What a fly mark! Big fly on the wing. Tom Redden.
Shoulder surfing.
He was sitting on Ryan Davis's head for an eternity as they work the footy forward. Perhaps a bit of jet lag from his trip down, and Doran marks easily for the Sharks. So it looks forward now for the Sharks. Short ball, why not? Bathed in sunlight here, the mighty Bisp. As they work the handball, kick around the body this time. Murdoch punched away, good use of the body there as they snap it forward. Harris to half forward. Fong underneath it, did well. Gathered 3-on-1, body on the line. Lucy went in to give his mate a hand. Students inside 50 once again. Underneath this one, Dimmery couldn't mark. Good use of the body, Williams. The Sharks with numbers. Boston involved too, taken to ground. Davies again good. Barton tackle, missed it. Bit of body-on-body contact, and the Sharks clear defence, but it should be cut off on the boundary line and marked strongly by Goulden.
So Goulden decides to go backwards, slow things down so they can reset. Carroll offloads, going far in the way of Hiscox. Finally getting involved in the game. Hiscox can be so good as they start pulling forward by Kilpatrick towards the 50. Lucy goes up for the flight, but he's got a little bit of work to do with Davis. Davis looking to win that one, but it's been taken out of bounds. Gee, they were fighting for it. Good little one-on-one there. And a couple of great marks we saw in that earlier passage. How about that one? Closer to the boundary side here. Bit of hang time from Redden. All going up high. So Lucy can't get the front-on position. Southport can. It's gone the very, very far side. That's going to roll underneath a few legs for another throw-in. Gee, but I liked the intent from the Students before.
Good clean use of the footy and possession. Just chipping it around across half-back, hitting targets, finding the footy, just regaining a bit of confidence. They're trailing this one as the footy's tossed in again. Well done, Lucy, from behind. Got a tap. Bit of holding off the footy. Umpire let play go on. Sharks with numbers. Good pressure from Lucy. Kicked out. Went without it, Kilpatrick. Pressure again from the Sharks, good, as Kilpatrick is held without it, and he'll get a free kick. So chance here for the Students as we wait for the footy to come back. And the Sharks a real chance just to zone off and find their man, mark off, and make it really hard yet again for Sydney Uni.
Might be a tactical kick away there. I didn't know, umpire.
So Kilpatrick with it, centre wing, told to go now. Just off 2 steps, drop punt high, long, underneath a big fly from behind Lucy. Chip into the hot spot, could be good. Back with the flight, footy will come to ground level. Eyes without it, arguably. Chance for Sydney Uni, handballing backwards. Dimmery went without it. Sharks defence good. Dale's there. Came back to Stewart. Could be holding the footy, is. Turnover, great pressure from Southport.
Southport's defence they have gone for everything, every smother, always hunting in packs. Dale went via the wing. It's now in the hands of Willis. Willis goes over the top to, wasn't his ruckman. It's gone the far side here. He's got his binoculars out, might help. Boston recognise those socks from a mile away. Puts a left foot kick toward the pocket.
Out on the full.
Not going to work out for him, the Black Sox man. Sydney Uni with another chance to respond. So it's in the hands of the captain, Fong. Fong will turn around, put onto the right boot. They're going to have to get going laterally, are they? No. Slightly risky, but he backed himself in. Going by way. Dimmery, bit of work to do with a misfired kick. Geez, that's dangerous. Can they pick it up? Tried to be slapped away. Hall getting his hands on it. Picked up nicely. Can't be gathered. Willis still in the hunt is Willis. Ball crashed down. Students get the clearance away over the head of Turner. Geez, you wouldn't want to back yourself in that contest. Ball slammed onto the right boot by Davis. Top of the square. Can't be marked. Not quite. Shea. Gathered, students still punching. Nearly went through for a dribble. The students will get a clearance away. It's going to land neatly into the path of Sam Fong at the top of their own 50.
So the students' defence standing up as they chip it across half-back. 3-on-1 here. How they do it. Good little sidestep. Rushed kick out of defence. Clark should run onto it and gather for Southport. Takes the man on. That's holding the footy. Good tackling pressure there from Barton. He'll want to go quickly. He's got 3 players. Give him the footy back, students. No one's gone to help him, so the Sharks have a chance just to zone off and man off.
They're going to miss another opportunity here and not going quick enough. All that time to reset for Southport.
So Barton will give the handball to the running Goulden from 55. Drop punt on the way. Got the distance, yes! So Goulden has the reply for the students. Big booming kick from outside 50. It's taken 1:06 for Uni to kick their second of this game.
And that's the lift from Goulden they needed. One of the best last week. Takes the game on, quick hand pass and a lovely kick. The Southport Sharks defenders just started making their way back towards position. They knew it was going in. He liked it.
Under pressure in defence, he stood up, Goulden. Goes forward, kicks his first goal of the year. Outstanding stuff for Uni.
Wonderful stuff, just what you need. Just a bit of a lift from a few guys to spark the energy of the rest of the team. Cause that response they so desperately need. So it's brought to the centre bounce. Now, who's doing the ruck work for the students now? Lucy's done a really good job on Turner throughout the day, despite the significant height and weight difference. Tom Redden's brought into it, all due respect, Turner. So the ball's come up, bit of push and shove. Double relief, ruckman go. Can they win the ball, the students? It's turned over into the path of the Sharks. Put forward onto the left boot, inside 50, big fist out of bounds from Barton. Wow.
That was huge, as good as a kick out of defence from Barton, that fist.
It was a punched torpedo, which I really liked about that. Sailed out of bounds.
Don't see them often enough, arguably, there, Jacko, as we wait for the footy to be tossed in. The Sharks in attack. Students looking for 2 consecutive goals for the first time today as it's tossed in. Real good smart sidestep from Lewis. Kick in, board outstanding. They've got a bit of run here, the students. They feel the momentum's on their side. They'll work it through midfield. Goulden, the goal kicker. He's got the captain, Fong, in front. He'll put it in front of him. Bouncing footy. Got it on the second bounce. Sidestep good. Inside 50. Good kick. No. Turned over. Push in the back. Take your pick. And the free kick will go the way of the Sharks. Still plenty of feeling out there, Will.
Ooh, lots of argy-bargy. You can feel it. And another energy lift I'm liking about this corner. Oh, intercepted ball. Chance the students here. Into the path it goes. No. Yes, wonderful mark. Stevenson. Louis Stevenson with his chance to get their second for the quarter. And what a time to do it, to start levelling back. You know, you slot this, you're only down by 22. 3 and the 4 put away from it. That was good stuff. I liked their run to the open space there. Fong did really well to shove off his teammate. Now they've got a good chance at goal here by way of Lewis Stevenson. They're missing. Over it goes. And sadly, that's pushed away to the right. Perhaps they're missing a bit of influence from Nick Foster, who's missing at the moment. He kicked 4 goals in the last game he played. A little bit hurt. So perhaps missing that sort of straightforward kicking from Foster.
Handy player up forward, Foster. Not out there today, as the Sharks just bringing it in slowly. Mackenzie Willis, he's had plenty of it today. 11 possessions, told to go now. Kick to the pocket. Dale the target. Big men flew. Come to ground. Barclay again hitting that one as it spilled to Redden. Redden just charged through like a bull. Spills out the way of Shaw. Shaw just banged it as far as he could. And Barton standing underneath it.
Got that away with his knee, didn't he?
Geez, goes through midfield as they go long forward. Stevenson, he's a booming kick. Flying high was Davies. Couldn't mark. Ball spilled out the way of Manteet. The former student turned it over. Chance here for Sydney Uni. Shot at goal, missing to the left.
Just need to be that little bit more clinical. They've had their chances, a couple of turnovers, but you can feel that they're feeling the energy. They're feeling the game. They want to take it on. So the ball's now in the hands of Willis for Southport. Let's see how they respond. They're a classy outfit. Boston with the ball. How they're going to dig their way out of their own 50? Well, with short kicks like that, I suppose. Josh Williams, he'll turn, give his man a little ruffle of the hair. Will that be an intercept? Yes, it will.
But it'll be a free kick downfield because Sam Fong just wanted to make his body feel after he kicked it.
Fongy. Jordan Dawson gave it off. It slammed on Matt Shaw. Will he feel the pressure? No. Cool, calm head. Ice in his veins. Takes it on and nice little switch there. You can put that on the rugby paddock. Left foot boot in towards. Should be a clean mark. Barton, will it? Yes. And he continues to run forward. He'll give it to Redden. Bit of work to do. Mark came over by Seb Tape. It's gone over both of their heads.
Students taking the game a little bit more on this quarter. They found a bit of a run and carry out of defence, and a bit more space. Very wide ground. The Blacktown International Sportspark as it's tossed in again. Redden got to front position, but Boston just got the footy. Kicked it inside 50 for the Sharks. Bouncing ball. Well done there by Dimmery. Taken to ground. And we'll see a toss-up right on the forward flank.
Good bit of tackling defence there. Southport, they're up for it. Looking to absorb the pressure, perhaps.
27 tackles to 15 at the Southport Sharks today. That one could be in the back. Umpire says no. Give it to me, boys. We'll toss it up. 16 and a half gone. Second quarter. 26-point lead the way of the Sharks.
So Redden trying to do a bit of relief rucking there. He's doing a good job again using the body. Piffed out Boston. Boston turns. As it would now is Murdoch by way of Ruse. Ruse puts a chip over the top to Williams. Can he be taken? Geez, ball gone to ground here. Little bit of problems here for the Sydney University defence before it's taken out of bounds. You're right, they have started to lift their game, the students. They're not going to lie down with this one. 27-point margin at quarter time. Got it down to 26. Rome wasn't built in a day, Will, so they'll just be looking to edge this margin back slowly throughout the course of the next three quarters. It's tossed in. Here's a chance for the Sharks. Handball into space. Tape should run onto it. Charges through. Had to go backwards because there was nothing doing forward. Manteet chip kick to the 50-metre line. Running through it was Murdoch inside 50. Ball will spill out the back. They got numbers here. A bit of a flick pass to Shaw. Had to run and gather. Right boot snap around the body. Good smart kick. Didn't blaze away, and the Sharks will go back and extend the lead. They're smart play from Shaw, and it will be Kai Shears going back to have a set shot at goal. Been through the Gold Coast Suns Academy, Shears. Broadbeach product, comes in, right foot, drop punt on the way, doesn't miss. 32-point ball game here at Blacktown. Good looking kick, didn't flinch with that one, did he? Just straightforward set shot for him. Cool as you like with Matt Shaw as well. Could have panicked, could have gone for goal. Instead, just put a little snapper over directly into the unmarked Shears. That's what you like to see. Probably
the AFL experience coming through as well from Matt Shaw. As we mentioned before the game started, he's just dominating the MVP voting from his 3 games for Southport, leading their way by 10 votes. And a couple of the other players in the competition have had a chance to play an extra game.
Some people think you just give him the medal now, but a few other guys on the ground are saying, not yet, I want my chance. So as we bring it back to the middle and watch this continual ruck battle, which is, well, it's been a bit of a carousel throughout the day. Lucy gave chase. Fife gets the ball away. Well, they calling that below the knees. Never been much of a stickler for the rules myself, so I have to leave E to tell you what happened there. Fife puts it onto the left.
Below the knees was right.
There we go. Look, maybe I've got a career in it yet. Fields just put it on an absolute platter for Jamison Shea. and he'll have a set shot here. So again, the Sharks, such fast responders when they get going, and aren't they proving in this quarter like they did in the last?
And it's real disappointing for the students. They've worked so hard over the past 10, 15 minutes of this quarter, but unfortunately from them, a couple of chances to have a shot at goal, missed left, right, and they could only put the one major on. Now Southport have a chance to put two on the board within a minute.
Not adding the scoreboard pressure they would have liked the students, but in comes Shea to start his run. He's got one for the day, and it's a good-looking kick. I think he's happy with that. He's quietly happy with himself. Looks like he's making his way to the bench for a well-earned rest. Sydney Uni trailing Southport 2-5-17 to Southport's 8-7-55. Here just about 20 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Real interesting having a look through the stat sheet, Will. 193 disposals in total for the Sharks, 135 for Sydney Uni. They've had plenty of it. Boston leading the way, 18 touches. Shaw, 16. Roos, 14. For Sydney Uni, Stevenson, just the 10 touches. Veal with 9. So, bit of work to do. As I mentioned before, the tackling stat, 60 tackles to 36 the way of the Sharks. It's tossed up in the middle. Really good stuff there by Turner. Just tried to urge it forward as the snap kick around the body came from Fields to the hot spot. Bouncing ball. Who wants it? Chance here for Mutu. Went without it. Students under a bit of pressure. String of handballs. Another tackle there for the Sharks as Hiscock's got the kick out wide. Kilpatrick the target out there. Foot race on. Williams hot in pursuit. Kilpatrick got his handball. Williams outstanding. Kept his feet. Could have copped one in the back and does. Free kick going the way of the Sharks.
So again, just that pressure from the Sharks defence. It's just forcing turnovers. It's forcing free kicks. They're doing everything right so far, the Southport Sharks. Let's see how they continue it. Ball into the path of Taylor, who takes that mark. He's got man-teed as an option, but not going to take it, the man in the headgear. Left foot kick into a bit of space. Really lovely stuff. Mutu with the ball here. Let's see what he can do. Couple of leaders. Doesn't see too much doing. Decides to opt for the big pack. Bit of a lower kick there towards the top. Hall in front. Couldn't be taken cleanly. And taken down to the tackle was man-teed again. Ball spilled out and regathered. Will be a ball up. Umpire getting plenty of the ball this afternoon with the ball ups. South's being able to be pretty efficient at running off these.
Well, and really using that extra meterage they've got in the ruck with Tagliabue late out for the students today as the ball's tapped the way of Roos. Did well, Tyler Roos. Students with numbers, and they will happily see it over the boundary line and a chance to just reset and make sure there's no loose men. So I say that there's a little bit of a change up in their defensive structure. As we wait for the footy to be tossed in, is now pretty much every player in the Sharks half of the ground. Good use of the body there from Crockmull as he gets a kick out wide towards Robertson. Chance here for the students. High kick. The player there's Stern. Stern's got a paddock to work with. He'll go out wide. Cordell there. He can run to 55. Put it out in the front of Davies, but standing in front of him was Davis. And the Sharks again in defence, just standing up strong. Got a chance to just work it across the defensive arc. Late hit, how the umpire see it. Part of the contest.
Nothing wrong with that, says the ump as he struggles to get to his feet. The poor man in black and white.
Just the wind taken out of his sails there.
No problem though, says the umpire.
So the Sharks deep in defence. Long kick up the wing. Pack of players underneath it. Redden was there, went over his head. Roos was good, got it to half forward. Underneath it there, Barclay for the students. Happy to see it out over the boundary line in front of Jack O'Shea. Kicked a good goal earlier in this quarter, Jacko.
Certainly did. He's made hit Shea and O'Shea, both having good afternoons so far. As they look to continue that charge, 23 and a half minutes gone into this quarter. Big high ball goes up. Turner winning that pretty comfortably, using the frame. Swinging down the round goes Sydney. Can they get it out cleanly? Not quite. Popped up and slapped forward. Here we go. Bit of a charge mounting here for the students. Long kick into the path of Davies. Hasn't had enough to do so far. Tries to swing out that. Not going to work. And lucky he wasn't so close to the boundary line or else that would have been holding the football. But they've got some pretty critical field position. Made some metres. Let's see if they can continue this attack. In it goes, big body. Tap down. One. Very nice by way of Bartholomeus. Unfortunately, they can't find Davies hitting up forward.
So chance here for Southport. Jordan Taylor in possession. Short little chipper punched away from him. Students a chance to rebound as the footy just ricochets at ground level. Good pick up though for the Sharks. Turnover. So here's a chance for Fong. Just having a look, stopping, propping, then put it on his right boot to the hot spot. Davies will have to fly from behind. No, it's Lucy. Punched away down to Barton. Barton went back via hand. Pushed off it maybe. Barton, umpire letting it go. In hard. Went through Barton's legs. The Sharks defence under pressure. Now there's a whistle on play here. Free kick advantage the way of Southport. They've got numbers across half back. This next kick is critical. Pretty much every player on the Students' half of the ground. Bouncing ball. Kilpatrick there. Shrugged the tackle. Did well. Handball came out wide. Robertson there for the Students. Goulden the target. And Sydney Uni will just have a chance to stop and not concede. Back through the corridor. Risky business. It will work well. Veal on the right boot. Out wide. Shaw was lurking. So the Students across half back. Smart use. Redden the target. Got a bit of space to work in, does Redden? As he'll just go backwards. That was smart. Bailey Stewart, round 2, rising star in the NEAFL. His handball went astray. Pressure from the Sharks, good. Williams, the tackler. And it will be tossed up at half forward for Sydney Uni.
Bit disappointed with that one, the Students. They had about 3 guys with their arms in the air wanting the ball, and just that kick turned it over. But I mean, the attacking opportunity down for the South, it all started with, once again, another 1% smother. So there's a tap down, giving chase Bartholomeus, gives a nice hand pass backwards to buy a bit of time. Movement here from the Students as it's plugged inside 50, up for the flight, goes a large pack as it lands on the bonce of one of the Students' heads, regathered, has an option, puts it forward. Yes, very smart. Goulden. We saw him kick one from here on the fly, but this time he's going to have to kick over the head of Dale. I don't know if he's feeling that he's got it. Is he feeling like he has this in him?
He's having a look around for Davies, looking around for a target. He'll realise Southport have got back well.
Dale's crept backwards from his actual mark. Let's hope Gordon remembers where it is. Ooh, nice low dagger. Is that picture perfect? Not quite. Ball hits the ground. Can't be gathered here. Giving a fair bit of chase is Davis from Souths. Can't be taken cleanly. Another pack over the top. Not clean. Umpire will have to give it up. Sydney Uni still with a chance to score late in the quarter here, and they could use this as they sit on 17 points. Here's a chance. Will it be picked up cleanly? As soon as he's touched it, he's met by a Southport defender, as has been the case all game so far. That scrambling Southport defence.
So ball to be tossed up late in this first half. Southport dominating proceedings this afternoon at Blacktown. 1 down. Students just not wanting to let it leave their forward 50. That was classy across half-back. Chip kick, bit of a risk, 3-on-3 situation. Lost it, snap out, Davies, goal. That was a really good piece of play there for Sydney Uni. Davies, right place, right time. And Sydney Uni have kicked their third, their second for the quarter, and closed the gap back to 32 points.
Gee, that was a real nice-looking finish, that one. You can see they need that one. Look, 32 points, not an ideal margin, but that might have stopped it from blowing out to something where you cannot recover at all. So perhaps that's the spark that this Sydney Uni Students team need to take the game on for the remainder of the match.
Reasonably free-flowing quarter, this one, Will, so you wouldn't think it will go too long. 28 minutes expired now, so they won't want to concede another one here, Sydney Uni.
Certainly
Equally,
not.
another one here, more momentum going into the third quarter. Hot day, Southport didn't play last week. They're coming off a bye, so who knows how that will play, whose favour that will play into.
We're about to find out, Summers, as the ball's bounced up. Beautiful straight-up bounce. If there was an award for it, he'd get it. Pushed off the soccer volley into the path of the Southport attackers. Here's his moment. Mutu puts it up high. Instead of a goal, it's going to go out of bounds in the full. Was a moment.
I don't think he was expecting it there, Mutu. The ball just kind of handballed up to him. He kept his feet and gone, I don't have much time, but he really did have a little bit more time than what he thought, Mutu.
Deer in headlights. He just cleared it away. Thought he was in the midfield. So out in the full with a chance to creep their way out of this somewhat dangerous position for the Students. Big right foot boot into the very, very clean path of a teammate. on the far side here. Let's see what they can create. There's a very strong lead coming. Perhaps being ignored. That's all right. Left foot chipper. Straight into the path of Stewart. Can't be taken cleanly. Southport with a chance to gather. It's not. Instead, it's the students. Good tackle. And it's been popped out in the middle. Oh, Hiscox has run into a bit of trouble. Straight through there. Not holding the football, though. No prior.
Salty's made a bit of trouble there, Hiscox. He had 2-on-1 situation very quickly. Tossed up pretty much the centre of Blacktown International Sportspark as Tyler Roo's got a kick inside 50. Students with numbers across half-back. This is Barton. Handball over the top. Risky. Mutu there. Handball astray outside the boundary. The footy goes and it will be tossed in.
Not as clean as they would have liked, the students, and not as clean as they need to be right now if they're going to pick their way through the Southport defence. It's just been so frantic and so desperate to stop them from scoring all match. So we await the ball up. So over they go. Who's doing ruck? It's beginning to lose me. Big tackle there. A few guys join forces to drive him into the turf. They'll be brought up again. Top of the 50 arc. Far side of the ground. Southport with a chance to score late in this quarter. So here it is. Snap kick. Rushed forward. Somewhat top of the square. Can't be taken, but there's a clean man. Looks to be Fields, if I'm not mistaken. It is Fields. Left foot snapper. Dale. Can he turn and beat him? No, he won't. He'll be taken. The ball is not quite taken over the bounds as the siren sounds. Thank gosh for that, say the students, because it went out on the full. Eddie?
Well, it was actually a behind registered, so even if it did go out on the full and the umpire deemed it before the siren, it won't count. So just the behind there, the way of Southport as they take a big lead into halftime. 8-8, 56. Plays 3-5-23. Major possession winners to half-time. Andrew Boston, he's had 18 for the Sharks. Tyler Roos, 17. Matt Shaw with 16. Across at the students, Louis Stevenson, outstanding. Barton and Veal, all good. 11 touches apiece. Our goal kickers up through until half-time. We've seen Dale, he kicked 3 in that first quarter. Really good there. Shea's kicked 2. Hall 1. O'Shea 1 and Shears 1 for the Sharks. For the students, just the 3 goal kickers. That'd be Veal got 1 of them. Morrison 1 in the first quarter and Davies snuck the last one through for the students in that quarter. So it is a 33-point margin here at Blacktown International Sportspark. We're going to take a quick break for half-time here in the NEAFL's round 5 clash between Sydney Uni and Southport. It is the Sharks leading, as I said, by 33 points. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sportspark. It is NEAFL's round 5. Sydney Uni up against Southport Sharks. 33-point leaders. The Sharks at half-time. Dominant first half for Southport. I'm Eddie Summerfield, joined in commentary by Will Jackson as players make their way back into position. Will, perfect day for footy today. We saw Sydney Uni get a bit more possession in that second quarter. They just need to carry that on and hit the scoreboard this quarter.
Just need to be that little bit more clinical, back their fundamentals in. The effort level's there, and you can see they turned it up a gear. So
Sam Tagliabue late out for the students, really cost them in the ruck. Hit-outs reading 25 to 16. 25 to 16. As the siren sounds for the start of the third quarter, I see Tom Redden's gone into the ruck. He'll be battling with Jed Turner.
So the ball's come up and it's one down by Turner, picked up by Southport, drilled into the turf and over the top it goes. Nice job from Stevenson as it pops up over the top to Mr. Redden. Kicked into space on his left boot. Southport with a chance to respond. Ducking out of trouble was Davis before he swings onto his right foot. Not picked up by Goulden cleanly, and that's gone into touch for a throw-in.
Makes sense throwing Redden into the ruck. 193 centimetres versus Austin Lucy, who's at the 188 centimetres, who'd been doing majority of the ruck work in that first half for Sydney Uni.
Dimmery in Boston doing a bit of push and shove there, Ed, as it's gone back in again. Redden lets it go behind him off the fly. Matt Shaw. That's taken pretty cleanly by way of Robertson. So Robertson having a look here. Can they make the first mark of this quarter? Picks everyone out and it goes to Jack Hiscox under his right. Banged forward from Stevenson. Bit of body use. Can he follow it up? Here's Davies. He's had a bit of a quiet game so far and he's looking to make his presence felt, but Matt Shaw's going to run this out of trouble slowly from Southport. Far side of the ground. Left foot kick just trailing down. Hall's there, but it's gone over the top. Pushed forward into the middle. So Goulden on the ball there. Does very well to get the ball out.
So Barton with it. Flicked the handball out wide for Sydney Uni. Just a slow approach is good. Now a bit of pace as Redden flicks the handball off. Chance for Uni pushing forward again. Here's Lewis Stevenson inside 50. Davies from behind. Two up. Ball spills out the back. Chance for Sydney Uni. Should goal. Hits the post. Does Harry Morrison. Chance goes begging for the students.
Such a shame as we were talking about being clinical and your first real chance. Look, it didn't bounce well for him and it was a tougher kick than distance. Didn't make it easy in that case.
They've certainly had their chances. 3 goals, 6 today. A couple of real gettable ones, and that one you'd put in the gettable category. So the footy with that man Teat, former student himself. Bit of niggle between these two clubs there as it's punched away from Robertson. Boundary line there too. And it will be tossed in. Positive start for the students, Will?
Certainly a positive start. I mean, would have been good to add the early 6 points, but definitely the intention is there again. They still haven't, they're not mentally beaten at all. They've still got every intention here to take the game on as they do so with Redden losing out the battle there. Dimmery puts a little left check side kick towards the contest. That won't be taken, but into the clutching arms of Jack Hiscox. Over it goes, the exact response they needed in the third quarter. The Sydney Uni students will now be 4 goals, 6-30, trailing Southport by 26 points, 8-8-56.
Jeez, he's a class player, Jack Hiscox, isn't he? Read that beautifully offhand, standing front and centre, bit of a sidestep, and then snapped it on his boot, and the ball did the rest of the talking. You said before that stoppage, Will, they needed the 6 points. There it is. They've got 7 now for the quarter, and it's back to 26 points.
Wonderful from Jack Hiscox. He was so busy last week, and he was a little bit quiet in the first 2 quarters.
Just one possession in the first quarter. He's built his way back into it. He's had 7 now, so...
He worked his way back in. Perhaps we'll see another couple bob up and downs from him. Couple more goals, perhaps. Certainly he'd like to think so.
So I do like this. They're persisting with Redden in the ruck, the students.
Freeing up Lucy, was saying he's such a great ball user, so you get him out of there and let Redden take on the damage.
Another beautiful bounce. Redden will get his hand to it first, but Turner did well. Over the top, well, Bartholomeus flicks the handball, turned it over, and we'll have a secondary ball up on the wing.
Not quite 15. That worked out well, didn't it? You'd rather the ball up.
So tossed up again. Turner used his body weight beautifully there. But the Sydney Uni mid's outstanding. Bailey Stewart.
Another group hug. but not as comforting as you think with the description.
I'll give this one to you, Jacko, as we just try and get it out of this centre square at the moment. Umpire circling. Now, you often see in these kind of situations, the umpire look for a free kick that perhaps isn't paid other times, just to clear it from the stoppage.
Dan Rem, well, speaking of which, here's the free kick that they were all asking for. Advantage has been played for the students, so it was in the hands of Bartholomeus before giving it off by way of Robinson. Good kick into the lap of Goulden. Gee, that would have hurt. He'll get back to his feet, we hope. Bartholomeus over the top. A lot of screams for holding the football, and it is. Really, really good defensive pressure. Bartholomeus started it. Goulden leading off him, but he decides to go long with a high kick on his right boot towards the top. Again, not marked. Weaving around. He goes. Stewart need to do a little bit better there as Southport get the clearance. Bartholomeus again under it. He's having a good little couple of minutes.
Both him and Mutu. Eyes for the footy then. So Bartholomeus, very creative. This one smothered off the boot. Could work okay for the students. Bouncing footy inside 50. Bit of a chaos ball. Holding the footy, surely. Yes, Morrison caught up that time.
I'm liking it, though. They're trying to get their way. Bit of a slap
Jordan Taylor. He goes out wide to Shaw. Leading possession, get it on the ground. Short kick's a beauty. Finds Fife. Fife back in board. Good use of the hands. Sidestep good. Willis, he's had plenty of it too. Inside 50, but going back with the flight. That was very classy and nice by Kilpatrick. He's been handy today, Will.
Kilpatrick's been really good. A couple of guys down back, both young blonde guys. We had Barkley who got cleaned up.
Here's his Cox out of defence. Short kick's good. Here's Vale. So he's had plenty of it too for the students. Out wide, good looking kick. 1-on-1 and the mark taken very cleanly there. As they look forward, Davies the target in the pocket. Double backs. Mark strongly, Davies. Beautiful mark. Bit of tension out there, and the students will have a chance to go back and kick back-to-back goals for the first time this afternoon.
Just what we were saying, Davies need to inject himself into the game. They're missing Foster, who's a really good kicker goal. Davies so clinical typically. Great strong mark. Finally gets his hands on the pill. Let's hope he can convert. They're exactly who he needs to step. They're exactly who they need to step up for this quarter.
For Williamstown in the VFL, Davies, he's kicked 15 goals this season, leads the competition for goals kicked. Averaging 5 a game, yet to trouble the scorers with a major this afternoon to give the students 2 in a row. Right foot drop punt on the way. Give him a rap and he misses to the right.
Hope we didn't curse him. Really hope we didn't curse him. Shame he couldn't put that one through. Let's see if Southport's class and experience can shine here. Playing out their own 50. They've got Fields lurking on the boundary, not making it easy for him. Here's a little bit of a contest. Up goes a bit of an ear massage. Did the umpire see it? I think he might have. I think he certainly saw that one.
Geez, ear massage indeed. Got both ears from the one side of the head.
Couldn't have been too pleasant, but look, they've come away with the free kick and they go long by foot on the right. Taking a nice strong forward mark was Carroll. Carroll puts it down forward. Lucy, injecting himself into the game. Goulden, the usual brigade as Hiscox puts a Shepherd. Nearly so clinical, but not quite. Taylor on the ball, gives it off. Running through the middle, they're deciding. Boston, he's going to get leather poisoning by the end of this game. Stabs a little kick to dribble in front. Not too effective.
Is that deliberate?
Will they call deliberate? They will. I mean...
Didn't have much to kick to, Boston, in fairness to him, but eyes for the boundary line. Perhaps could have gone to the contest a little bit cleaner. You'd
say a good call, though. I think Uni deserves to come away with it from there.
Agreed. So Carroll's got it last line of defence. Risky kick through the corridor. Strong hands, though, Dimmery, as you'd expect. So Dimmery, just a bit of a limp after that marking contest. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's going to have to go by hand. So Dimmery's still in a little bit of pain. Goes down to his knees. Weird, ugly kick. Barton went through his legs. Clean bowled him. Dale was held without it. Umpire let play go on. Wayward handball. Students' defence under pressure. Arm pinned. That will be a ball up.
Jason, let's hope Dimmery's all right. He's a very handy player. He looks sore. He's trying to jog it off, though. He's seen a few bit of tough displays from the students' brigade. Balls come up. Can they get the clearance? Tries to put over a little bicycle kick to no avail. Trying to rip it out there strong was Serakowski. But the ball's going to go up. Just having a look around the Dimmery.
He's with a trainer at the moment. We'll come back to that.
Lucy was getting involved. Oh, here's a real chance. Nice and easy over the top. Yes, it is. Michael Manteed against his old mob, making them pay. A goal apiece for these sides in the third quarter. Nice bit of snapping work.
So Dimmery, as we mentioned there, off the ground now with the trainers. Looks to be left ankle, left leg kind of problem, going straight down into the room. So hopefully he's okay. Managed to hobble off the ground and a little bit of a jog up.
So he tried to keep going, didn't he? But that leg just would not allow him.
Big loss for the students. Hopefully he can get back out there. He's had a bit of the ball in this quarter, taking a couple of crucial marks as well.
I'm really liking this. Southport, again, they have shown their class. They absorbed just then and immediately struck back.
Yeah, very good. Inside 50 count at the moment as we wait for play to restart. Southport 33, students 29. So they've certainly had their chances. Sydney Uni tossed up again in midfield. Lucy back doing the ruck work. Bartholomeus was good because the footy just goes forward for the students. The run and carry, outstanding. Here's Louis Stevenson, takes the tackler on, put it on his right boot to the hot spot. Davies underneath, 2-on-1 situation. Mark taken, and it will be Southport just working out of defence. Here's the goal kicker, Manteed. Doing it at both ends this afternoon. Has a look forward. Short kick is good. Finds Lee Dale. Back to Manteed. They'll work it across half-back. The Sharks to a pack. Big fly from behind. Marksfield. Here's a chance for the students. Rebounding at ground level. High kick inside 50. Davies flying from behind. Standing it in the hole. I think it was Tom Fields, and he marks pretty comfortably.
How about Davies coming in, just causing absolute havoc in that contest. So he gives the handoff, does Fields. The little wheel around the Boston can't be taken. Little chance to capitalise here if he can pick it up quickly. Can't be done. Stern, still a bit more work to do. Was he taken without the ball or is it holding the ball? Yes, it is.
Took the tackler on then. Jacko just didn't realise he was there and let go of the footy as it was happening.
Shame about that. So they continue play the Sharks. Look at Hall's athleticism. Falls in the hand. Mutu. Two Sharks players fighting for it. Hall's back onto it. Shaw reaching. Yes, bit of injection. Shea uses his right boot. I mean, if it went any further, it'd go through the uprights. Instead, into the contest. Couldn't be taken. Holding the man. Paid by way of the Sydney University students' defence. They've been good today, haven't they, Summers?
Very good. Tom Fields giving away the free kick there to Barton. Experienced campaigner for the Sydney Uni players and team.
31 points the difference here. Into the hands of Barton. Goes short. Nearly kicks a goal. It's not going to be 15. So they'll play across the face. Left foot kick, try and get out of 50, and that's really nicely done. So they're playing off by way Lucy, picked up. Nice grab, Stevenson, long kick, and they got a bit of space in front of him if he can run onto this and win the foot race. Charging down, can he dip and dodge? He's got a couple of options short. Goes long, can't hit the target. Stern, even more work to do. Two guys in the pocket, one alone. This should be an absolute walk in the park goal, and it is. University students hit back here in the third quarter.
Tristan Davies standing all alone in the goal square, kicking his second. That was such clean, good ball movement from Sydney Uni, right from the defensive line. Barton with it right at fullback, couldn't have got any further. Hit the handball, got it to Louis Stevenson. He's an outstanding kick, isn't he? Got it long.
Penetrating kick. Look at that one, just set them up entirely. And what I loved about that was all the hands were clean, but geez, look at the support running off them as well. Everyone wants their hands on the footy. Everyone's looking to take this game on.
So footy back in the middle now. Southport still leading this one, but Sydney Uni, they've managed to muster 2 goals in this quarter.
You wonder if Southport might be taking their foot off the accelerator a little bit. You know, maybe look at the scoreboard, think they can relax, but Uni are a classy outfit themselves, so you wouldn't want to give them too much of a sniff.
2-1 coming into this afternoon's clash as the footy's thrown up, went over the head of Austin Lucy. So that handball coming through was Shaw. He went without it. Kick out of midfield. Students get the centre clearance. There's a foot race on. 2-on-2 situation. Sharks with numbers. They led to the footy. Shaw the target. Big fist over the top. Didn't quite get clean possession as that's a handball to the boundary line and Stewart, and he'll get a free kick for holding.
Gee,
umpire blindsided, I'd say. He was in the right position as their coach too, so well done and smart from Bailey Stewart. Mark was dropped as they go through the midfield, the students. Here's Barton, his kicks turned over, went straight in the middle of a student sandwich and waiting for it. The filling was Matt Doran. He was a late inclusion today as Doran put it on his right boot. Outstanding kick. out the front of Shea. Shea too far out to score. Has a look to see what he's got. Goes to the hotspot. Wearing the headband. Outstanding mark there, Charlie Ford. Marks 20 out directly in front and will extend the lead for the Sharks.
Really good one-on-one stuff from Charlie Ford, wasn't it? It was. I thought he was a bit mismatched in that contest, but geez, he stood tall.
Played for Western Suburbs in Sydney before making the trek up to Southport. Kicked 4 goals this season. Real handy up forward. Hasn't troubled the scorers today. Real good mark as well. 177 centimetres there. Just standing up like a true 6-footer. As he comes in there forward. Left foot kick has missed.
The hands immediately went to the top of his head. Dropped it down. He'll be ruining that one there, Eddie.
So a bit of a let-off. Still a 30...
What maths have you got for me today, Eddie?
27-point lead.
26, I'm reading.
Okay, we'll go with 26.
As ball comes out by way of Jake Veal, and I think the support staff look to get us a calculator. Ball's popping out. Students looking to make their mark here. Nice little push forward by Cordell into some space. Looks like Clark's in the front on position here. Harry Morrison was a little bit upset he couldn't get to that one. But
did well there, Clark, to find the boundary line, because if he got tackled, he would have had to rush a possession, and with so much space there, who knows what could have happened.
Very professional, but still a good opportunity for Sydney Uni to go down the other end after being let off the hook earlier by Southport. Ball bounces, but Boston, he puts a little grubber in towards Fields. That'll be out. Well, not on the full. Long kick. Clears a bit of pressure away from him, though.
Gives them a chance to have a look and set up a bit of a forward structure.
Let Turner sort of use his frame and try and win the ball down, although now that I'm having a look, I can't actually see Turner out there.
So we're about halfway through this third quarter, the Premiership quarter. Austin Lucy got to the front, won the hit out. Sharks with numbers around it. Shaw went without it, but the ball spilled free to Fong. Bangs it inside 50. Red in the target over his head. Ball will bubble to the top of the goal square. Real smart stuff there from Davis for the Sharks as the ball's fisted away, and there'll be a free kick. Chopping the arms. It was there. So
fair call from the umpire as well.
So they have a look here, the students. Repeat entries. Haven't seen a lot of that today. Over the top. Ball spills free. Who wants it as it's tapped towards the boundary line? Austin Lucy could have copped one to the head there as he gets his way to the front.
Just trying to get involved in the game. He's been thrown into the ruck and now he's just copped a little elbow or a fist to the head. But he'll be up and he'll be right. Typically a harder player. Again, attacking opportunity here. Ball up fly. Redden doing a bit of the ruck work now to relieve the sore Lucy. Ball on top. Not going to come out too cleanly, you don't say. The umpire will agree with us up here as they get ready for another ball up. See who can make it count. I mean, another goal here and they're only 20 points behind, which...
You can fight that back in the last quarter as the Sharks, though, they've got other ideas. Handball was put out in the front of Mutu. Got a clearing kick. Shaw underneath it. The contest comes to him. Ball at ground level. Great tackling pressure, as we've seen all day from the Sharks. They've been really good today. 41 tackles to 31. Just their pressure around every contest this afternoon. Been a real presence of their game as it's tossed up again. Sydney Uni slightly in attack. And it will be tossed up again. It's the Sharks leading by 26 points.
So balls come down here. What can they make of it? Geez, it's scrappy stuff right now, Summers. No one can get the ball out. Everyone hoping to go for a bit of a gallop on the side, but it keeps going down. The pressure's applied. Tap down, someone goes for a big flying soccer. Here's a chance here for the students. Can be picked up cleanly. Not quite, but the dribble's inside 50 for the students. Oh. Here's a contest. Ouch, that would have hurt. On the head, it's a high tackle. And, yeah, I mean, he was falling into the ground was Jordan Taylor.
Had his head over it, so...
Definitely was in the position. So, free kick rightly given. Taylor, left foot, longer kick. About 3 students there, and Hall's come away.
There's a free kick, though, and it's unfortunately for Hall, it will go to O'Shea for a smother in the contest. So the Sharks, a couple of handballs as Mutu went out wide. Students players with their arms up. Long kick to half forward, good mark taken out the back. So a chance to reload as it comes to the Glebe Greyhound in his Cox. Comes out wide. Here's Bartholomeus, back via hand, was good. He'll want the 1-2. He got it, did Bartholomeus. Doesn't have a lot to go to, so he'll sidestep through traffic. Geez, that was really, really good by Bartholomeus. Here's Veal. Looks forward now. The Sharks have got back well. Goes to a contest at half forward. Lucy pushed out. Murdoch there for the Sharks. The bull. And he'll be wrapped up in a tackle and it'll be tossed up.
He is a bull. I was seeing him warming up with his kicking before the game, Ed. He looks like he could do some damage in a pack. So see if he can get himself further into this game. Oh, nice clean win out there into the hands of Fields. Fields, silky left, penetrating kick inside 50, trying to hold his ground wonderfully with Shea. Shea still chasing. Will he be able to milk a free kick from this? Umpire says no.
He's paid deliberate.
Deliberate around the full. Geez, who knows? So Shea, I mean, not the most straightforward. Will he look to offload to a teammate?
No way, you've kicked 2 goals. Go for number 3.
Have a bash.
Saw a good goal from this pocket last week.
It would have been Robbie Fox, I think. Yeah, on the fly.
Playing in the AFL this afternoon for the Swans.
Well,
but here's Shea coming in.
Kick. Across the face and not taken. Unique enough to make their way out of trouble. Robertson, oh, gee, that could have been dangerous, but it's gone through for probably the best result they could have hoped for in the behind there.
So we've seen the students have been quite willing to take the game on from kick-outs in this quarter. They are leading this quarter after trailing by 33 points at half-time as a really good marks taken by Redden. Wants to move it quickly. He's got a couple of players in the corridor. Ignores that and will go backwards across the full back line. Here's Barkley. Short again, smart kick, good, finds Goulden.
Those 2 knocks have not affected his accuracy. Barkley, he's still been the general, the stalwart down back. Lovely kick. This is a bit better. Oh, geez, what's the umpire going to do here? Because that was
and 50.
A little bit unnecessary. So it should be a straightforward shot at goal here for the students. Probably could have pulled out of that one, I think, Summers, but wanted to make his impact felt. So
Ed Cole underneath it. He waited an eternity. Ryan Davis, feel a bit sorry for him. He came from about 5 metres back. He left the ground before the ball got there, and
he was like Jordan in Space Jam. He was a long way out. The simplest of goals for Ed Cole is going to bring them within 21 points. And as we said, that margin looking a little less daunting if they continue this run. I mean, Eddie, that was really clean play straight from the back there. Started with the young Barkley who'd gotten cleaned up a couple of times, and they were just clinical all the time.
And real smart play from the half-back flank. They could have blazed away up the wing, but instead took that extra little bit of time. Goulden got it at centre half-back, and geez, it was a beautiful kick up the corridor, wasn't it?
Wonderful. Obviously, a little bit of help from the umpires, but that's certainly within his rights to call that one. Be interesting to see how Southport respond now. Their defence has just been enigmatic all day. All their 1%ers. Let's see if they want to continue that desperation to close out this assault from the students.
Well, the Sharks, they had a pretty tough road trip to Canberra 2 weeks ago. They stuffed around by flights, as it turned out, and managed to scrape over the line against the Demons by 6 points, coming off the bye last week and then sent back down south to Sydney this time today.
To not exactly their fortress either. Never gotten the win here as Bisp, as you've said before, Ed.
Bit of history, but they're pretty confident in the rooms today to hopefully create a bit of history and get a win here at Blacktown as it's banged into the turf again. Redden got the tap out as a bit of a rush kick came forward for the students. Fong will lay the tackle, came out to Shaw. Shaw flicked it to Ruse. Ruse out wide to the running teammate of Murdoch. Could take a bounce, elects to flick the handball to the ball magnet Boston. Boston went back by a hand as they go inside 50 now. Mutu the target. Mutu marks. No, he'll get a free kick or a mark. Take your pick. It's really good clean ball movement from the Sharks.
And they were all just jogging as well. They just had acres of space in front of them.
Didn't get out of third, did they?
No.
So here's Mutu. Real tough kind of pocket to kick goals from. First game for the season for the Sharks. Geez, that's a booming kick. Drop punt on the way. It's got the carry, I think. That's a goal. That's a tremendous strike from Dylan Mutu from 55 out, tight in the pocket. And Southport extend the lead to 27 points.
You're back, Eddie. Your maths is back. Thank gosh for that calculator.
Thanks to the staff at Bar TV for bringing that one upstairs. Our broadcast partners for the NEAFL this year.
Apparently they're going to start bringing in some maths tutors. There'll be midweek preparation for the commentary team. Butler's bit of Pythagoras theorem, you know, all of the above. So let's see what's going to unfold here in the third quarter. There's about 24 and a half minutes passed so far.
Got the 6, 6 and 6 again troubling the students as Jack Hiscox makes his way into forward 50 for them. And
another mathematical error, huh?
They can join us at tutorage on Tuesday night.
But we put tutorage aside as the ball's bounced high in the air and tapped down by Southport. Will it be one out? Oh, geez, they couldn't quite get it cleanly, and holding in the tackle of the students. I mean, when these two sides have gotten it cleanly, it's been a real joy to watch. So let's hope the midfield brigade can get something going either side. Students, if they want to make it a contest, very nice from Ruse. Gee, the pedigree working. Willis onto the left boot, out in the frontal path there of Murdoch. Murdoch gives it off. A bit of run here from Williams. Williams, longer kick. Oh! Back with the flight. Wonderful mark. Hopefully he's okay.
Andrew Sierakowski, big fly.
He came down real quick, didn't he? And he's came down quick, slow to get up. Usually the combination.
Didn't have a touch in that first half, Sierakowski. He's had 4 in this quarter, including that hanger. Outstanding.
He might be discouraged from taking any more after that. But
goes to another high flyer there. Redden. Short through midfield. Good kick. His turn. So they've really created their goals from half-back this quarter, Sydney Uni, moving it slowly. Goulden, the architect of a few of them, he's got it at the moment. He'll run across defensive 50, kick up, Redden marks, high-flying again. So it looks forward. He's got a couple of players in the corridor he could go to. Fong, the man I'm speaking to, goes there now. Fong from behind! What a hang! Plays on quickly, got it to the running Stern. Davies the target this time. He'll use his body. Big tackle laid there on tape. Ball spilled free. Mutu out of defensive 50. And the Sharks should rebound. He'll have to get his kick and go. Just did. As a Students player lost his feet. Sharks looking to make them pay on the scoreboard. Redden just pushed off it a bit too easy. The Sharks under immense pressure through midfield. Bartholomeus the tackler, and it will be tossed up.
I'd like to know his tackling stats, Ed, when you've got the chance, Bartholomeus, because I've seen him put on a few real critical ones which have led to turnovers.
Leads the Students for tackles with 4.
Well, shock horror, there you go. Here we go on the far side of play. Southport looking to make another charge as they've done so all day. Dale underneath the ball here, and gee, he was good in that first quarter. 3 goals. Looking to perhaps add another to his name, but it certainly won't happen with this opportunity. Out in the path, that's worked out pretty nicely as they continue up forward. Matt Shaw will turn around, wheel it onto his right, and let it just bounce wonderfully after the 2 big sticks. Southport Sharks, 76 points. Matt Shaw showing his class as he makes his way for a rest.
Got a feel for the Students, and they work so hard to get it up into their forward 50, and just once again a little bit too easy for the Sharks getting it forward. Matt Shaw, his experience in the right place at the right time. Ball spilled to him, and it was a beautiful goal, as you called there, Jacko.
Jeez, but that's what the good sides do, though. They make you work and work and work. They absorb, and then they just go, here we go, I'm just going to waltz it down the field. Punish you for it. Punish you for your hard work. Savagery from the Southport Sharks.
So it's back out to that half-time margin. All the good work the Uni Students did in that first half of this quarter got down to about 25 points at one stage there. Now it's back to 33, right where we were 28 minutes ago. Ball's pinged into the turf. Lucy doing the ruck work again. I'll give that one to him. Not sure if the champion data guys will, as it's a bit of a wrestle in the middle, and we'll toss it up and Lucy will have another chance.
Lucy taking on the ruck duties. Have been enjoying him and Redden getting involved in the ruck. It's don't think any punter wants to go up against Big Jed Turner. Put out Willis. He's good with the ball, isn't he? Ball spills out. Well done, Harry Morrison, as he tries to fight his way on the ground. Will it be hands in the back? No, it's just going to be a ball up.
Real good stuff there from Willis. He's been good today as well. He's had 18 touches and just that pressure there, outstanding. Tossed up, Lucy will fly from behind over the top, through the corridor. Bit of a risk, but I like it. Harris, he'll look forward and then go sideways because that makes sense. Got the running Vale to half back. Kilpatrick with the footy at the moment to half forward. Good kick, finds Redden. Davies is alone in the goal square. He's probably a kick away. Lucy there, ball fisted to ground level. Big chance for the Students. Davies still in the goal square. He's one out now as they go inboard. Good looking kick. Did it have the carry? I'll pay that. No third umpire required. And a good diving mark taken for Sydney Uni. And they'll go back and look to stem the margin back to 27 points. It's Bailey Stewart, former Swans Academy player, Will.
Look, it's excellent play from Stewart, and again, so lively last week. Nice to see if he can affect the scoreboard, certainly, but really, it was really good work of the Students to get down here, but gee.
Rising star, winner on 2 occasions, Bailey Stewart, former futsal player as well for New South Wales, goes back and kicks a major. So it's back to 27 points here at Blacktown just before three-quarter time. Momentum slowly going the way of the Students, I'd say.
For now, though, we know how quickly Southport like to swing it. They're the experts, according to this. I mean, we've seen... The scoreboard doesn't reflect some of the fantastic play we've seen from the Students as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, Southport have been incredible.
Their defence have been really good today.
Scrambling, absolutely. But
Reece Clark really good down there.
Been a pleasure to watch, been a pleasure to call. Hopefully the people watching are enjoying it as well.
Wherever you're watching, NEAFL TV on YouTube, on Facebook. You can even say g'day if you're really feeling generous.
Give us a shout out in those comments.
Some nice comments last week, Will. Really fed your ego. Struggled to get into Blacktown today without security as it's tossed up. Austin Lucy went without it. Did well, though. Second effort was good. As Fife spilled it, and we'll have a ball up. Geez, really good stuff there, Austin Lucy. Bit of push and shove going. Umpire Garraway just tells them to settle down, boys. You can nearly go off and have a drink for three-quarter time.
The ball's come up. Turner wins that one down. Can't be taken out. Boston, the long sock, standing out once again. But he won't be able to get the ball out of that one.
24 touches today, Boston. Leading possession, get it on the ground.
Those socks are going to have to go through the wash twice, I reckon. They'll be sweaty from working hard. But look, it's popped over the top for now. Getting hit in the hard tackle was Fife. And he'll make his way to his feet.
Geez, you'd be running back if you're a Students player at the moment, not wanting to concede a goal late in this third quarter.
32.5 past here. Southport just slowing things down. You know, they're not in the immediate rush, but looking for a little bit of clinical. Oh, sails him on the dummy. Murdoch pumps it forward inside 50. Big fist over the top. Bit of work to do. That was nicely done. Over the top kick. It should be picked off. Yes, it has been. As the three-quarter siren it sounds, Ed.
27-point lead, and he's going to go back and have a shot, Will. He played on off his line, did Tom Miller, so if it was to bounce through, which it doesn't, it won't register or count. 27-point lead to the Southport Sharks. It was the Students that won that quarter by 6 points. What's in store for the final quarter? We're going to take a break on NEAFL TV and come back with all the action here from Blacktown International Sportspark. It is Southport leading Sydney Uni. The Sharks chasing their first ever win here at the Bisp. 11-10-76 plays 7-7-49. Welcome back to Blacktown International Sportspark. I'm Eddie Summerfield, joined by Will Jackson in commentary. It is the Southport Sharks chasing their first ever win at Blacktown International Sportspark. They lead this one by 27 points over Sydney Uni. It'll be a Southport to the left-hand side of your NEAFL TV. And we'll have a secondary ball up just to give us a bit more time to catch our breath, Will, and you can take us into this last quarter with the Sharks leading by 27.
Looking forward to it, Eddie. Tap down, Turner, you'd say, got the best of that one. Ruse pushed it forward into the path of a couple of men. Can't be ripped out. Bit of thrashing about there from Sam Fong. Won't come out cleanly.
Good to see that Redden in the ruck for the students. Done well today. Had 7 hitouts. Hitout stat really interesting. 53-16 the way of the Sharks.
So ball onto the left boot of Goulden into the path of Cordell. Making the chase here, trying to tap it to himself. Didn't come up his hand, but came off his knee instead. Chasing towards the boundary. It's got a bit of a... Well, he had a bit of attention, didn't he? But that's going to go out for a ball up.
Sam Tagliabue, of course, late withdrawal for the students today. That's why their hit-out stat is so one-sided, with Jed Turner just dominating proceedings. So it will be Turner and Redden. Redden, I'll give that stat to him. Lee Dale, though, got it for the Sharks. Flicked it across to Boston. The ball magnet goes long to the wing. Barton underneath it should get this one. Experience good against Hall. Finds the boundary line, Barton, and it will be tossed in.
So like most of the quarters, a bit of slow proceedings to start things off before the floodgates open. Playing around those fringes on the side. They never seem to want to come down this side, mate. We must stink on this end as the ball's fired up into the air. Punched forward by Southport. Can it be gathered off the ground? Yes, it is. So out the back for the students, but fumbling, slippery ball like a bar of soap in a prison that's spilt out of bounds for another throw up.
Trust that's not a life experience you're talking about there, Will.
No.
As we wait for the footy to be tossed in front of the scoreboard.
Clean cut, wouldn't dream of it.
So the Sharks, as I mentioned right at the top, kicking to the left-hand side of your NEAFL TV. The fist was good. It'll go inside 54 Southport. The Goulden underneath it for the students, wrapped up in a tackle, and it will be tossed up. So they've done really well. Mitch Johnson a late out for the Sharks today. Didn't quite get up, and they've found quite a few avenues for goal, Southport, which has been pleasing to see. As the footy came out the back, Cordell wrapped up. As they just try and get it out there. And it will be tossed up once again. Key leading possession winners are up to three-quarter time. Boston 26, Shaw 22, Manteet 19 for Southport. As it's tossed up again. Here's Boston at make that 27, inside 50. Poor kick, turnover, and the mark's taken pretty easily there for the students.
Carroll puts it onto the boot of Veal, who quickly shrugs his opponent, puts in the path. Boston, shock horror. This will be number 28 for him, and there it is. Or was that 29? Regardless, he puts it on the toe. Shaw kicks it forward, taken from behind. Umpire doesn't mind. Bit of a sadistic umpire, this one, letting a few physical contact things go. Nothing wrong with it. Another ball-up chance for Southport to really, I suppose, put the finishing touches on a pretty strong outing for them this afternoon.
So tossed up, they're in attack. Shaw slipped over his own shadow. Hiscock's got attack out of defence, but the Sharks came back. Boston with it, back to Turner. Turner, booming kick to the hot spot. Who wants it? Manteet waiting out the back. Snap around the body, good smother. Students' defence under pressure. They can't afford to concede the first goal of this quarter. Around the body, Shea had other ideas, but he misses to the right. Bit of push and shove continuing between these two clubs, and we're back out to a 28-point ball game.
Don't mind the push and shove, just means they both still care about the match, which is what you want to see. Strong kick out the middle, Stevenson manages to find Goulden. That's a really good kick.
Big booming kick all day.
Big one, swings it.
Here we go.
Similar style kick, left. Bit of options, Hiscock's right foot tumbler. Not the best looking kick, bit like a show bag. Out it comes. Kick off, it's going to be safely played around with by Jordan Taylor. Taylor's got Murdoch to play with. Couple option. Look, he's just sprung onto the field, Manteet. So having to slow things down. He does have the option in the goal square. Was it risky? Well, the kick was beautiful, so no, it was not. Clark put forward. Here we go. Bit of room to play with here with Shaw. Such a great ball mover as he puts it on to Mutu. Mutu moving forward. Right foot kick in front of the path of Hall. Even for a great kick like him, it's probably a bit far out. Let's see what he makes of it. No real leading options. Well, just to spite me, out comes Veal on the lead, takes the mark, and he'll have a shot at goal.
Geez, that was really good for him, Shea. He had Shears waiting a bit deeper, and geez, beautiful mark, wasn't it?
Beautiful. Let's see if he can follow it up with a beautiful kick at goal. Got to shove it off. Play on. Top of the square, under its Hall. Won't be taken. Dale for his fourth. Just gets it behind instead.
So the defensive effort just standing up at the moment for the Students as we go to a 29-point ball game. So Goulden doing the kicking in instead of Stevenson this time. Beautiful kick as well.
It's been good, Goulden.
So here is Stevenson. Here's a booming kick. Has a look forward. He'll run on and then just chip it backwards to Goulden. Why not? So Goulden cross half back. That's a risky kick. Doran came charging off a long run. He's given away a free kick. Barton holding his ground well. The Southport fans that made the trip up aren't happy with that one, as Barton just now has to go back to his mark. Has a few options. Oh, short, risky kick. Geez, turned it straight over. Mark Williams, short kick, beautiful. Finds it, Shears. Shears, what is he, about 40 out directly in front. This will start to ice the game for the Sharks.
Just wasn't executed very well, that kick, was it? It was risky, and it just, if you're going to go for it, make sure of it, right?
Bit lazy almost from Barton.
Maybe a little bit tired.
So, comes in now, Shears. Directly in front, drop punt. Jesus, he's made the goal umpire work. He's missed. So, and even 5 goals now. Southport 11-13, plays 7-7. So, Students will need 5 goals in probably about 15 minutes of game time left this afternoon.
Would be a hell of a story if they managed to pull that out of the bag and rob Southport of their first win at this ground. So here they come to mount their charge if they do it. Boy, will the fans enjoy it. That's a beautiful kick. That should be 50.
Yes.
Darcy Cordell's going to run, and he's got the foot race on him. Look at him charging through the middle. Now, where's he going to stay his league? He's got a couple of options. Kick not perfect. Oh, no. Reece Clark cleaned up without the ball. That was their moment to get that quick turnaround. But instead, Clark's just going to slow things down. That's a real shame. Exactly what they needed to swing the momentum, but
he was going super fast down the middle, but his team weren't really going with him, as the kick is really good from Clark, wasn't it? So the Sharks just happy to slow things down and just cop a couple of hits. Short kick, a good one up the wing. Looks forward now. That was a good kick too. Doran. So Doran has a look up the ground. He's just going to go slowly. And a bit chippity chip. As the Sharks just looking to build. So short again. Eventually comes to Taylor. Taylor now. He'll come out wide to Clark. He's been a real pillar in defence this afternoon. Put it on his left boot. Dale the target. Really good work of the body to push Sierakowski away as the footy goes out of play.
Didn't quite get the bounce, but yeah, he did use his body well. If it had bounced up for him, they could have been in trouble there, the Students.
Set this game up, Leedale, 3 in the first quarter.
So entering the ruck again, Tom Redden. Going to be a front-on position, nice for him, but geez, that big fist comes over the top of him. There's been a call up.
Free kick going the way of the Sharks for a bit of a hold in that rucking contest, picked up by the secondary umpire.
So Ruse puts a right foot kick into the path of Dale, nearly cleans out a teammate, but no problem. Wheels around right foot towards the top of the goal square. Very nice. Won't be taken into contact. Uni with a chance to run this one out, but geez, there's attacking pressure, defensive pressure onto the boot. A fight can't be taken through. Well, it's taken through by the Students, but just for a behind.
So Goulden kicking in, 31 points. Bit of an awkward score, handy point if you like, if the Students can muster 5. Big fly! Seen some marks today as Veal comes out wide. The other frequent flyer for the Students, Redden, goes short, beautiful kick. How will this pan out? Here's Stern. Stern has a look forward, sidesteps, run to 50, hotspot, beautiful kick. Mark spilled by Lucy. Second effort was good. He's taken to ground. Defence good from the Sharks, and it will be tossed up 15 out from the Students' goal.
It's a shame. It was a bit of a story of their afternoon here, Ed. You know, just some real great build-up play and just lacking that final bit of polish to make the Sharks pay on the scoreboard. So the ball's come up. They still have a chance here, though, to hit back, but it's one down by the Sharks. Cleared hard on the right boot. Wee big fist from behind. Lurking is Shaw. He knew to get in the bare position, be a little bit open. Fields to Shaw. Shaw wipes some hair out of his face. He's got a bit of time, he reckons. But he rushes his kick. Oh, geez, Hiscox hit from behind after being in the frontal position. Great intercept mark. Bartholomeus puts it forward. Nice kick for Harry Morrison. He'll line up. He's a pretty good kick, Harry Morrison.
Kicked the first goal of the afternoon in those red slippers.
Waste no time, Morrison, and unfortunately waste no time in putting it through for a behind. It's a shame it had a nice bend, just lined it up on the wrong post, it seems, Ed.
Back to 30 points. So the Students, they're still pushing. As the short kick comes in, finds Jordan Taylor.
They're not going to look back and say we didn't try, that's for sure, the Students.
15 scoring shots to 25. As Taylor now clears defence. Big use of the body was good from the Sharks, but it's the Students with numbers around the fall of it. Came back to Sierakowski. He's driven into the turf here at Blacktown. He got the handball back to Hiscox. Came to Barton. Barton, long, high one. Waiting underneath it, and real good mark taken by Seb Tape. Waste no time. Flicked it off to his running teammate. They can work a string of handballs here as it came to Willis. Willis wrapped up. Umpire saying play on. The Sharks aren't giving up across half back. Came back to Tape again. Short kick, nearly cut off. Waiting at the back of it. Came to Jordan. Back to Boston. Boston's kick outstanding. Smart user of the ball as the Sharks now drive it inside 50. Underneath it, Hall couldn't mark. Spilled to Murdoch. The Sharks, he put it under his arm. Put it on the right boot. Drills a goal. That will seal it for Southport at Blacktown. What an outstanding passage of play. And the goal eventually kicked there by, it was
Tape, I believe. Could be wrong. What do we reckon, Eddie? You got the binoculars out. What do your elven eyes see?
I'm not game enough to say who it was at this stage because I just missed it on the binoculars. It was
Apparently
Hall.
It was too.
Josh Hall. Josh Hall.
He's doing two-twos. I read that as just 1-2.
So that was really good passage of play, wasn't it? Boston, the architect across half back. He's just waited, found the right kick. And the kick up and mark was really good from Hall.
Silky from start to finish. When they had inside their own 50, I felt like saying absolutely clinical. And they just continued it down the other end to get the goal. Pushed out forward. There's Ruse lurking. Picked up by Lee. Played forward. All right, into the hands. Here we go. Goulden trying to make something happen here for the Students as it lands perfectly into the arms of Hares. Hares looking. Does he go laterally? No, he puts a real low kick into the path. Stewart chasing. Southport on the, can turn defence into attack here. Wayward kick. Not what he wanted. Can they get the goal? Davis. Is it deliberate?
That has to be deliberate.
Surely.
Yeah.
Yes, you would think so. I mean, well, nothing else needs to be said about that. We could all see it.
Good pressure there from Davies.
So Davies here, you know what I mean?
Kick 2 in that third quarter.
Did. Whether he can make this work. Little left foot snap across the face. It's a shame. Not a left footer.
So 35-point ball game here at Blacktown. Really hasn't moved much from about a 25-point ball game to this margin of 35 as the kick comes in. The Sharks across half-back. They've done well all day. Mutu, great use of the body. Parked himself underneath it beautifully. Took a mark. Got up quickly. Dished the handball off. Sidestep was good. Mutu will get it back. Put it on his right boot. Short kick's a ripper. And the Sharks will have another set shot at goal.
As we said, the floodgates just starting to open there for Southport. They've been getting better as the game goes on. You see that defensively. You can see that offensively in the last goal they scored.
So Jack O'Shea begins his approach. Kicked one on the afternoon, deep in the pocket. Take it to 41 points. Right foot kick is good. It is very good behind. One of the behinds of the day from a set shot.
Really liked that one, did he, Summerfield?
Enjoyed it.
Really liked that one. So Sydney Uni looking to restore some pride here. Bartholomeus, simple little right foot chip forward. Was it Barkley? Into the path, and here we go. Bailey Stewart with a chance. He had an option over the top in Cordell. Decides to go by hand.
It's not 15.
Oh, nearly gets a bit of a Southport sandwich. Dishing them out at the tuck shop. And there's one onto the ground anyway.
Geez, Bartholomeus, he was on then. Stern electing to go back to Barton, and Barton not playing for the whistle that time, unfortunately for him. He thought it had gone the 15, but umpire said nope. So tossed up half forward for the Sharks. Boston, he'll run onto this one. Kind of went without it, did. That was really good from Barclay as the ball ricocheted to Murdoch. Goes out wide to Shaw. Shaw, a good user. This time a bit sloppy. Mutu should run onto it. Doesn't quite. And it'll be tossed in inside the forward 50 as the shadows start to appear across the base.
Southport with all the momentum here. 15, nearly 16 minutes gone into the final quarter. We wait for the ball to come up, and right on cue it goes. Tap down, Lucy fighting, looks to have hurt his fingers. If I may quote you from last week, Eddie, Taylor Swift shake it off.
Holding a ball.
Attacking as well.
Geez, they haven't given up with the tackling pressure all day, Jacko. They've had, in fact, 51 tackles to 41, the Sharks. Pressure has been a real strong part of their game.
It's been a staple of their game and maybe a catalyst for their win as well. So many strong acts early, you know, those 1%ers, those smothers, stopping Sydney from getting the roll on, and now they're doing it inside their attacking 50. So real good stuff. Jamison Shea, who's had a pretty good outing today.
He's had 6 marks, 12 possessions, 3 tackles now.
How many goals is he on as he lines up for this one?
This will be number 3.
If he converts. We don't want another good-looking behind. He looks for a goal and he gets it immediately. Started clapping, celebrating with his teammates, rightly so, as they extend that lead even further out to 42 points. 7 goals, 9-51. Plays Southport's 13 goals, 15 behind, 93 points. Starting to look a little daunting out there, Summers.
They'll be disappointed with this Sydney Uni. They started the season real strong. 2 wins, 2-0, looking good. Went to Canberra last week and went down in a cliffhanger by 5 points. Moved to 4th on the ladder, and now they'll go to 2-2. Whereas the Sharks, well, they'll continue their unbeaten run for season 2019. And in fact, they haven't lost since round 19 against Aspley last season, so chasing an 8th consecutive win, which be right up there with their best since the creation of the NEAFL as the footy's bounced in the middle. And the Sharks find another one, just start to build on their percentage. Wrapped up in the tackle this time was Redden, held without it though. And he'll get a free kick at centre half back. Goes short. That was good. That was smart. This looks good. Good approach. Comes to Harris. Harris short. Cross half back. Reading it really well and smartly was Cordell. But the Sharks have all of the answers across half back. On the right boot. Bit of a wobbler to half forward. Charlie Ford marks. Has a look forward.
Hard to miss him with the headband on. Charlie Ford.
Goes short to Davis. So Davis has a look forward and just sees the jumpers of the Sydney Uni students who just bang it long and hope. Dale underneath it has to go. Good use of the body there by Fong. Mutu got the handball over the top. This looks really nice. Fields into an open goal and he's drilled it.
Gets drilled while kicking it as well. Drilled while drilling.
The double whammy, and that was a real good passage of play from Fields, just waiting for the right opportunity. Lee Dale's use of the body is good. Mutu handball, outstanding. Just the snap around the body. Awareness of where the goal mouth was of Fields, very good.
I've got to be careful here. The students, I mean, late in the season, if it comes down to crunch, they don't want to look back on games when they could have held off, won a bit of percentage. We know how these things happen. The Demons missing out. The Melbourne Demons, that is, by percentage. I mean, these things do happen, so let's see if Sydney Uni can put a bit of a fight back.
Their percentage has dropped, 169 coming into the round, and at the moment it's down to 127, so a real hit with the loss today.
Still a pretty good percentage, though.
You take it.
So the ball goes up. perfect bounce and good bouncing today. Again, there's no award for it, but should get at least a pat on the back. Chopped down very nicely. Big far kick from Stevenson. Does have a big roost, but it's gone to no advantage. So Southport going to turn around. Doran puts a nice left foot chip up. Oh, I didn't realise he thought he had more time than he did Brody Murdoch.
He's been good today, hasn't he? 22 touches, 5 marks as the students go quickly from the wing. Big long kick, good use of the body, but geez, that's a good defensive mark and paid to Davis. Been good across half back, finds Shaw. It's at 27, that will be possession. 28 up the wing. Here's Goulden. He did really well, trapped the footy in front of him. Now he's got to go back and pick it up. Got it back to Redden. He went without it as well. Bit of a slippery Sharon at the moment. Kicks a half forward. Mark spilled. Shaw went back in and got it for the Sharks. Handballed backwards. Students with numbers. This looks real good. Came out to Harris. 45 out. Davies the target. 2-on-1 situation. Turned into a 3-on-1 with the loose defender out the back for Southport. Kicks a bit of a wobbler towards the boundary line. And it goes out of play after Murdoch tried to keep it in, but just missed his stepping.
Thought about seeing if the umpire didn't see it, but I think he knew pretty quickly. It was fairly obvious it had gone over the white line. So in we go. Bit of an attacking opportunity here for the students. Let's see what they can make of this. 21 gone in the final term. 1 out by Sharks, as it mostly has all day. Ground ball, a couple of fighters over the top. Gee, that came out clearly. Willis did so well. Doran, left foot kick. Down towards the boundary, not slapped away, but students here with a chance. No. Tackling pressure from Mutu. A few plays in there. Carroll couldn't win it out.
They'll be really happy with this effort, will Southport. Sydney Uni, they trailed by 27 at three-quarter time. They haven't hit a goal this quarter. Been playing 22 minutes, as you mentioned. Southport, on the other hand, they've managed to kick 3 and just finish this game. As the footy came out to Veal, he could have copped one high in all of that.
I think he saw three Sharks circling him ready for the attack, and I think he might have hesitated for a moment. Don't blame him either. Probably best for his health and safety. Ball comes out, Hall taps it down. He's had a good afternoon, hasn't he? And he's helping with the ruck, sharing the burden that has been the ruck today. But it'll be another one. He'll have a bit more work to do, but first he's got some pushy shovies to do.
So free kick's going to go the way. This is picked up from the secondary umpire there in Garraway. So it's going to go to Redden. Copped one high in that push and shove. He's could have been 50 against Mutu then. Protected zone. Umpire said no. Footy spills inside 50 for the students. Charging out of defence was Miller. Can they find the handle of the footy? Murdoch was lurking. Handball back. That was really smart. And the kick back, smart too. As Davis marks in front of Davies. It's got McKay at the top of the defensive goal square. He likes to go up the corridor too. Murdoch, the target from behind. Did well. Good use of the body after the contest. Handball out wide. Tape was waiting. Tape ran into space. Tape's handball stuck well as it comes to Willis through midfield. And the mark is taken well by Manteet.
Manteet puts a long hard ball onto the right, but taken nicely by Carroll. Carroll looks up. Little wobbly kick, but manages to find his target in Ed Cole. Ed gives it off. Little charge here. Nicely done from Hiscox. Chipper over to Darcy Cordell. Looking for options. Yes, one staying in the middle. A bit of pressure. Arm coming over the top. Umpire didn't like what was happening to his back. And over the top went Stewart. He had Lee Dale to deal with in front of him.
Geez, I buy real estate off the umpire. That's barely 15 as the footy goes inside 50. Going back was Turner. Couldn't mark. Geez, really good stuff there from Morrison. Handball backwards was good. Harris shot on goal. Misses. Has he missed the lot on the full? No.
Not on the full. But Stern was open to pick up the scraps, but they just never fell his way. Hard one to look after. I think the sun's starting to play a little bit of a factor here. I've noticed when the ball comes towards the Sydney Uni end, it's a few players shielding their eyes. So we wait for it to come in. No eye shields here. Ball tapped up, one down by Turner, cleared away by Boston. However many disposals he has, well, we'll find out shortly because...
32.
There we go. Barton gave a little offer. Couldn't be taken in the intercept. Still hunting. They're still going and they still want the 6 points. Trying to tuck it out, but Smashed away by Lee Dale. Carroll's got some work to do as the looming Hall hunts, lurks, throws him round the tackle. Okay, says the umpire as they continue the run out. Goulden very fast and sharp to Sierakowski. Dribble kick back to Sierakowski. Fast ball. Geez, it's frantic here towards Turner. What can the big man do? Can he get his hands clean? Yes, he can. Over the way. A little bit of duck and dodge from Murdoch. Plays it backwards. Intercept. Can this be a moment where they at least pick up 6 points? Entertain the crowd, says the watchers. And there we go. There's a mark and an attacking opportunity here. Eddie, can you see the number?
Well, it was really good work there from Harry Morrison. Tight spaces on the boundary line. Got his kick inboard and found his skipper there in Fong right in the corridor. Marked it right on the chest.
Really good passage of play, actually, but
probably some of the best work the students have done in close in their forward 50 all day. So Fong hasn't kicked a goal today. One for the season. It's a pretty good kick of the footy usually. Drop punt on the way. It'll fall short. Lucy was there, ball spilled wide, Sharks with numbers. They'll just try and get it out of defence, going with a head of steam. Bailey Stewart marks. Probably a bit too far out to score, so he'll go to the hot spot. Davies pushed off it, umpire let it go. Dale there, came back to Hiscock, snap around the body. That looks good from Fong. That looks very good from Sam Fong. And the students have their first in this last quarter to try and bring a little bit of respectability to the scoreboard as it comes back to a 7-goal margin.
Captain's knock. Can't fight back from here. At least he is leading by example, which is why he's got the C next to his name. But unfortunately, a little late to mount a comeback, I suppose. It's
So he had about 10 touches today, Jacko. So he's been good.
And they have been good. Just unfortunately, Southport have been better. They've been really clinical. Their workload's been exceptional.
Tagliabue, massive loss in the ruck, as we've highlighted throughout the day. The hit-outs 67 to 21.
Makes it really hard to control the clearances when you lose your big man. You're reliant on him. Where he's off to, as the ball's dished up and over. Turner wins it as he has done. Boston competed, couldn't be taken. Soccer attempt off the ground. Oh, it's come out quickly to Stewart. Puts it into the path here. Can that be taken? Not quite. Arm was held, perhaps not. Ooh, big looming handball. Hey, slap forward. Little slapping open fist. Careful who gets in the way of that. Fong, the captain, tries to put it forward, but she's cleaned up well by Reece Clark and tapped onto the chest of Turner.
So Turner, short one, good to Fife. Fife, that didn't go the 15, so Fields will have to go to half forward. Hall underneath it, parked himself well, as did Jack O'Shea. Eventually he nearly gathers it. Barclay pressure good. He's been real good today after copping a couple of big hits early as a snap around the body from Ford into space. Bit of a hit and hope. So the students, they'll work it slowly out of defence. Bartholomeus goes to Goulden, back to Bartholomeus. He goes short through midfield. Overcooked the pie, perhaps. Murdoch. Time and space. Goes out to the wing where Shaw was waiting. Shaw knew what to do with it. Finds Roos. He's got Hall calling for it in the hot spot. Elects to just slow things down a bit, Tyler Roos. Had a really good season thus far as we're into round 5 in the NEAFL. That kick probably not his best as the students work the footy to Lucy. Wanted to create a bit of run through Hiscox. And Lucy runs past for the handball, eventually gets it right through the middle of the bear. Spin side 50. The target down there, Morrison. Back with the flight, and the Sharks have all the answers.
Certainly all the answers as Matt Shaw pops up again. He seemingly just disappears for a bit, then pops up in acres of space. Knows exactly what to do. Bit like a character in Game of Thrones if you were watching last week, but I won't spoil it as the final siren sounds and we wrap up a pretty strong afternoon for Southport, Ed.
The Sharks, their first ever win at the Blacktown International Sportspark.
Huzzah for the Sharks.
5 attempts. Geez, great effort from them. They'll keep their undefeated run going in 2019. Final score, 14-15-99 to Sydney Uni, 8-9. 57, a 42-point win for the Sharks. Geez, they'd be very happy about taking the 4 points, and then just a bit of percentage. It comes with 42 points as well. Next 3 weeks for these clubs, we'll run through that before we wrap things up here at Blacktown. The students, they've got the Sydney Swans, Redland, and then they can enjoy a bye. Whereas for the Sharks, they've got the Thunder, the Giants, and then they'll take on Redland. They move to 4-0 this afternoon, and they'll be closing in on the top of the table. Sydney Uni, they go to 2-2, and their season at a bit of a crossroad.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think Southport's got a good, there it goes again, good 3 weeks ahead of them. 4-0 at the top of the table and well-deserved by the way they're playing. Tough outing for the students. A couple of key players going out. Tallyabue being the biggest one out there. But all in all, I think you can be happy with the efforts shown by the students today.
It was a 27-point lead to the Sharks at quarter time before ballooning out to a 42-point margin right at the end of the day. Will Jackson, thanks so much for your time on NEAFL TV this afternoon. Outstanding calling.
Always a pleasure with you, Ed. I feel like you motivate me to be better, so hopefully the viewers enjoyed it today.
Hopefully you've enjoyed this one on NEAFL TV, wherever you've been watching this around Australia, around the world for that matter as well. It was the Southport Sharks recording their first ever win at the Blacktown International Sportspark, running out 42-point winners. I'm Eddie Summerfield. Hope you have a great afternoon. Enjoy the write-up on neafl.com when that gets up there, and we'll see you at the footy next weekend.